You should buy cigars from Cuba if you're a smoker, get addicted to something expensive and stupid. I can't afford Cuban cigars. Maybe they're cola, he said, too honestly thinking economically about the price of just one bottle. I'll buy it for you if you smoke it, my friend. Problem solved. Okie, dear friend, whatever he said, accent thickest,
Yo,
I'll
what's
buy
up,
you
new
French
YouTube
food and
people?
wine. Prepare your liver for the French, EUHUG. I'm glad I can drink all the wine I want by my muscly size. Wine one should drink for the taste. I know some French giant wrestlers who drink several bottles before going on stage. Ils ne remarqueront pas, crowd didn't notice. True. Onto the barbarian wisdom. They heard a voice like a barbarian historian and a bit like an alien. This is the key to plain desolation or ostracized dead. You did not look for this quest, but you will like where it leads. Other barbarians thought we traveled in theory as we gazed open the endless furnace and found water only where there is death and struggle. Find water first, then riches. Don't worry about the dead dragon. They are cursed to reincarnate quick and serve here. Their lust for power is not good. It also said in a smaller, different text next to the runes, Errol and George Propane can wrap circles around Harold thus. He found the red and black keystone in the chest. He put it into his keychain epic with anticipation. He heard swords clashing and it smoked lodging into place. The keychain too blazed hot. James dropped it by surprise. They loaded the rabbit.
Oh, this
James
didn't
used
work.
rocket feet at the back, making the rabbit kind of hover, taking 3 times as long rabbit jumps. Christ, you want to sell the bones for just 16,000 quid. You won't find anything like this again. James had spoken to sell the dragon stuff at the curiosity shop El Aristocrate Sauvage. The working man had to contract the owner, which was on one of his ships at the docks. Yeah, sure, whatever. Can you go down a little bit? Minus 15,000 is a nice, round number. Yes, it is a round number. I'll buy everything. How much do you think you will profit on this? Said Arnaud, businesslike, honest and curious. Minus 15 to 65%, indeed it is rare stuff. Was it already dead? Smell my sticky finger, thus, we killed it in a dungeon. I don't believe you, but I don't have to. Pleasure doing business. You should put the bones in a museum, said Arnaud. I can send letters to museums asking for a higher price maybe, using important state thus money. The captain stepped onto his modernly huge steel icebreaker, powdered by steam and water wheels. Arnaud gave James a thus legendary item, a red wine drinking horn that could not be fully drunk unless you drank it to the bottom. James looked naughty. I'm going to a bow and gun shop. They have this black powder discovered in China already and they can make muskets. Well, they are pretty much one-timers, so slow to reload. Where I'm from, they are outdated already. What should I buy instead of that? Then he asked, upset, only settling for the most of what people say. Buy these magically infused bullets of Foss L.I. have read, in the library again, technology section. I only read magazines really about psychology and science. Arnaud bought a sniper musket with ridiculously huge sight, and James 4 magical black powder pistols. They decided to take 2 courses in water magic first. Indeed, there was rehydration. They could suck the moisture out of living things with beginner magic. Hunger slap was an alternative. They could suck the water out of people's blood like vampires. They
Thank
could
you.
make drinkable
Hope
salt-free
that
water from
little
nothing, or
ad
their
was
magical
interesting.
stamina with advanced magic. They
I
could also
think I
boil
will
awful water sources,
do that.
teachers said. Water they brought with them in different energy states. They teleported to the North Pole Waystone, where they could go
76 to
back,
win.
then use the keychain. After trying different activation sequences, they
Oh
tried
wow,
melting the
oh
key
that's
and it
really
worked.
close, man. I want that.
They had a spiritual experience through things seemed real conscious. Chasing seemingly needed energy, being chased by spiritual foxes, like a shooting star it went through them, not caring like something to accept. They traveled so quickly eventually their body felt crushed in the speed into a vertical barrier of water. Despite being in starry space grand like a mansion, it seemed the barrier came closer. What would happen if they touched it? Was it lethal? They were just travelers. As they touched the vertical water barrier, they sat up in an oasis. Wet to their waists, they gasped for air, wet like jellyfish. They were sitting in a desert oasis. The oasis was 15 meters wide, then went 100 meters maybe far away. Palm trees perfectly planted 2 on 2 were all the way to the end of the oasis. It was so dry here, ridiculously hard to breathe, and so hot like even for a desert, it was just cerebral. Hydro's almanac, Pebber. Arnaud cooled both of them down. It felt especially around their exteriors and on the surface of the skin. The bunny jumped out of the middle of the oasis and bit James in the shoulder. Omnum. Arnaud repeated the water spell. In the end, they came to black building of what seemed black brick. They had exited the oasis and fought now in dryness. This heat is making me a sad rabbit, he was suffering. James read from the shop's scroll
I
a
was
spell
supposed to meet a
ultimate
person
Netflix
today.
chilling that made the rabbit cool. And
Yesterday, I'm gonna turn off my phone because I don't want to wake up for any reason. I was supposed to meet a person 1 hour later after I fallen asleep. And then today they sent me a text saying, "Hey, do you want to join me going to another city and spending time with another family member and their children? You know." Well, I shouldn't went there. You want to join, you know? And I missed that text somehow. Missed the second opportunity, but at least could have seen each other the third opportunity. Man, I feel so stupid.
but open for orders. Well, it seems like I am, well, that's just like your opinion, man, said Spartacus like a bunny. They came into a well that was just for show, it was parched, and behind them stood a black dwarf. What are you doing all the way here,
Spartacus the
travelers?
Undefeated is
Scottish.
a giant rabbit. 4 meters long, 2 meters up.
I'm a historian and bodybuilder. I'm on an adventure, said Spartacus. I don't really know, said Arnaud. You look more like a bodybuilder than a historian. What do you catalog punches? He looked like an
The other one is called Sigmund the Destroyer.
electric spell, cunning, black hair like air magic experiments. There was black and gray leather and a spell making it looks like the tips of his star beard was sparkling. His white blank eyes looked like a boss. Here's my first question. What do you do in this blasted heat?
Look at that
We
rabbit.
drink alcohol, said the dwarf. This is a drunk society, functioning on interesting accuracy, swaying from one starboard to the next responsibility. Come, I can chat with you if you're new. I'm bored selling spicy food anyway. Welcome to Sandy Hell. I don't expect new people to survive here. I cannot stress enough that this is an elite place for survival. The animals are steel cuirass and the brutes eternal. We can buy some of your food. Do you have propane in that stand looking melted? Yes, it powers the heat. James took a canister and looked like a model chugging. The rabbit reacted to this word and jumped face close to the dwarf, noticed even by people other than James. No, it's terrible. Let's go to this common chicken place, Scorched Sunburn. What you really want to do is buy the fried chicken menu. It's expensive, though. They went into a building that looked identical to the others, but had a wooded sign of a chicken. Quid for the fried chicken with, also we have other chicken. It's going to be a nice time, said the dwarf with social intelligence. He said it in the right non-pushing way. Arnaud looked melted in his black suit. You look like melted ice cream in your suit. I am completely numb to the suit. James and the gang sat down mussily. So what do you do here against the heat? Asides alcohol, James said comically. Use cooling spells and runes, stay inside, dip your socks in sleeping gear and water, highly recommended. Exteriors are more sensitive.
Somebody thinks that's not a real bunny. It's a video that photos from.
To water. Some genius figured out you should summon water elementals, nasty temper. You can permanently change your body and skin to handle the temperature doing nothing, but it's irreversible and makes you struggle in places that aren't desolate. Lots of dwarves do it here. There are unknown ruins from the people used to live here. Artifacts, pyramids with strange climbing chains down, unimaginable depth, look there. After each sand dune there is civilization and nice people. They are competent and social, knowing of myths and superstition. There are oases through and some of the best water parks around. Eat the red flowers that look partly like large berries around the oases you find. They have the highest amount of antioxidants of anything we know, supposed to be healing. Sit in the waters around here like a capybara, drink alcohol. It's one of the things you could do here. Are both dwarves and black dwarves from Scotland? It's just different parts of Scotland, ACCH.
It's just
Herein lies the story of lovers. Everyone knows the tale. Irella loved Michael. They had met as enemies, hateful of each other until sillier pulls. What is your role in the deserts? You do not seek further. You have corrupted your purpose.
I write some love poetry with a twist here.
I am happy without ambition, as you are fair like promises. Our ambition, this relationship will last forever. I will conquer and win every duel. We are bound to expand, a new project. We are bound to grow. You are so mature you forget to be tender. There are only bridges we can build upon. You build me up as I respond to my brain and heart. They were supposed to be forever, different enough to fit ambition, united in broad minds and spirit. Verse 2. Why do you not hold me like mercy and thoughts of seers? I am pulled from you in the hour of partying. There are elves and sleek, kind friends. They don't like you for your heart. I demand you steer your sandship. I will not part of you with my spirit being cut like paper pearls. He met cute strangers, understanding spirit, bold colors splashed in water and vivid spirits, crushes and charms. He came to understand a world of bars and margaritas. Verse 3. You would follow me into the abyss of Kala. Together we must fight. There are lands kept for the first men. There is a garden infinite and protection of petal peddlers. We are 2 digits in a system of flourish and fate. I cannot go where there aren't margaritas. I must go back to my friends now. I cannot believe you will leave me for these men in tights. I love you like friendship and shared sorrows. Our love is music, was music, great tights through. They are really great, farewell Moonwell, striking blue sea and shimmer. He came to a bar with the shirts, purple lightning and hands on his shoulder. You have come to a feast in Mexican food, golden promises, a hand in fantasy, gestures and eternal masks of golden masquerade. He liked his friend as a second burly mustached man. A man of men took him to the Mexican buffet. Back in cassava reality, scorching chicken came on small plates with a huge plate of sweet potato chips and some cassava chips. Oh yes, the cholesterol and high blood pressure, said the dwarf eagerly. Don't forget the high blood sugar from the meat. What are you serious? The dwarf said, upset, defeated but absorbing in negativity, being ready to absorb anything terrible. There was grilled chicken in tamarind curry, spicy fried chicken, chicken in charred tomato sauce, and dwarven tikka masala chicken. This is some unreal fried chicken, said Arnaud. It's perfect, it blows my mind. I didn't know chicken could taste like this. I'm going to buy just some more for our needy travels, he said in a suspect voice. The other meat is the same kind of quality. It tastes expensive is one way to describe it. Then the other way to describe it would be delicious, succulent, or prizeworthy. The tamarind is perfectly balanced with the curry I noticed, said the dwarf. It's right there in your face, 50 to 50. The dwarf exclaimed, there is no way you can travel far on foot here. It's 140 Celsius in the shade and 200 in the sun. The planet doesn't move and the sun is very close, several times more boiling than your sun on Earth. Paris, oh, and sunny Bordeaux when I was a kid. British, right in the now in London. The bunny nibbled at the dwarf elbow. IIIIRGH. Come here, Spartacus, there is fried cassava, technically a vegetable. I'm not used to food being tasty, except for watermelon. Spartacus. What you guys want to ride is one of the sand ships. You see them come over the dunes. I do own one, but it's small and not for strangers. Magical and black powder engine. Well, the black powder we get here, it's stronger and smells like cumin and jasmine rice. We have different or better ground elements. Is that bunny cooled down? I guess we will get that question a lot. Yeah, it's that magic where they alter their mind too. The bunny squeaked as loudly as it could, meaning to communicate with the dwarf. Rabbits are quiet. Can we get a map in it? This magical map scrolls in and out depending on how you use your fingers. You see about 50% is unexplored. It's 6 times larger than Earth. You can have it if you buy me another round of chips and one drink. Sure, they got all the potassium they needed from the chips. If you eat a bag of raw potatoes, you will too. Write another quest, ship destination fields of green-purple plants blasting in the heat for El Dorado pyramids. They absorb the sun for everything. They found a waterhole with a deadly waterslide. It would test them as warriors. It was ever tall and 90 degrees, in circles and in waves, and a bar. With green and purple things growing at every side, they sat in magical pool rings. eating fried chicken, drinking scorched pomegranate vodka drinks with frosted rims, onyx sunglasses on. The sun scorched, but with your limbs in the water, it felt good. James went for a pina colada and some strawberries, he thought, using up his antioxidants against the sun. That's what the antioxidants protect us from in the skin. There was a wizard you could pay to cool you down, sitting in blue and purple robes, tall cone wizard hat bent at the top.
Yeah, this is fine. Don't get it wrong. It's an anti-racist book, right? By the way, the main character was easy to write. It was you know, it's not eating fried chicken because it's black, and the others, they're not all the same race, or they don't all have the same skin color anyway. I don't have to change a thing.
Turned into icicles and were stored next to each other, but magician wizard farted on the icicles to break them. They were drinking.
Does anybody miss the whole part of the other book? Everyone's like, just many LGBT characters and tolerance and anti-racist.
And floating around, joining pleasure of the senses. It can be hard for thinkers to calm down and enjoy the senses or the present. The future cannot give you what the present can. Bunny Spartacus floated around. They gave
That's
him
why
an
it's
air
called a
cushion to
hamster.
hang onto if he
Sorry,
wanted,
the
and a
present.
nice-looking hat. Now the green parts of the oasis interested him just like the cassava. Maybe it was time to eat. Mostly he ate because he was a rabbit. He was spoiled into lots of melon and watermelon, trying out something the humans ate. It was all too much: fried foods, candy apples, chocolate volcanoes. He knew there's too much food. He had been chubby before. How many people have you killed? Said contemporary assassin Arnaud. People die too easily. How do you get by? We're doing horrible things, man, he said deeply with the voice of someone sensitive. Who am I to take a life? Who am I to get paid by taking a life? After floating slowly around, James said, not everyone philosophizes what they do. I'm too good at killing, it's like a sport. Maybe what I'm supposed to do then is protect people with my fighting, take out a large payment. I think maybe it's not getting used to the bad parts like it's nothing. Do you feel sad after a death? Feel it. Is something stopping you from hurting someone? Listen to it. A job is not just a job. A job isn't supposed to make you do more moral mistakes. Yeah, then you shouldn't blame the job. A job becomes who you are, a new identity, merged like emotions to the soul, playing a role like carrying a caravan. We think we can merge with the new job identity. We had 12-hour shifts before, then 8, maybe we will get 6. Killing splits the soul, more the worse it was worth. I noticed I split my soul, even killing small insects a little bit. It feels like a mini heart attack, a lapse of consciousness. It's delayed when I kill smarter things through. Maybe there's the judgment. Don't kill spiders, they clean up the bugs for you. This is a job where I'm going to die in the wrong, it eats me. Even when I shoo it away, it eats me. 10% chance to die on each assassin contract, let's say. What if I'm not strong enough, resisting a spear into my chest until it pierces like regret? Train to become stronger, train like you could always dodge the worst character. Maybe my time as an assassin of time is up, of strange Ian's clockwork of the meticulous. Just take contracts on easy people that won't fight back. The large head prizes isn't worth it. You know you do have a big brain. You should always say, what do you mean, in a nerd voice when someone says this. I was not used to this kind of help. I was used to putting up. I notice people don't say I'm smarter more often than I was a normal IQ child, young and in a blur. The thinker spent his time starved from the same strengthening kindness, diplomacy for friends and facts of intelligence. Depends on the friends. The wisdom of the soul becomes mental age and greater suffering, challenges, or even an ease to handle any previous challenge coming again. I also thought I could always do science like adults, do it early, waiting eagerly for a system of forgetfulness. You were stupid until what, 20? I grow long maybe, a genius brute. When I was 13, I had 15 less IQ than now. This is the way of the wide genius. Top endurance genetics usually go with strength genetics. You can hear the length to which they can speak, exert beyond like holding your breath. There's also the strength and ability to conquer, depth of voice, convincing, conviction of those living ancient 10,000 lives. They can only be convinced until they think of something superior to convince you. I don't think people are born with the same IQ their entire life. Look at how stupid children can be. Remember how stupid you were. And yet, people don't say you're smart or smart enough. It is taboo. You don't fit in like speaking the wrong language unless where you fit in better. You're something different. This I can tell as an unit. Revolutionize and advance, get known in the lands of conjunction. I like hearing it. I feel accomplished. There is a version of you encouraged and complimented by peers, an intelligent version. I think French people can be very smart inherently in their culture, like they are painters. Just like the poetry, music and lyrics are different, like a sacred plant. You explain nothing, it's very complicated, James said, sounding more like a robot, for some reason, logical and quiet. It's vague gray areas part for part, like women can talk about very shifting specific feeler things, picking in a brain with lots of options. I'm going to the water slide thus. It is calling me like a dream, dreams of vague responsibility and paid for being myself, a break for the ADHD. Arnaud raised his sunglasses. Narrow and 20 meters high stood a singular luxury water slide. James sharply took in the view and then with rocket feet sprung down. He felt kind of empowered like a rocket going down, then he skipped like a stone across the waterhole by the angle and up into a palm tree. Spartacus came excitedly to the stem. The huge palm tree was like a green couch. James sat naughty. I'm sure you want me to do it, said Arnaud, and I'm not doing it. Psst, you're a traveler looking for the unholy strikes, said a gray-skinned, star-hair and beard baldening-looking dwarf. They can be found by a Ronin, masterless samurai. Even whispered quieter, he's in the tombs of Ra and Sobek. It's a huge dungeon crawl. I learned this from Gungnir, the last Dungeoneer of the First Age, First Desolation Burning Age. Thanks, take a chicken leg. This chicken leg honors you thus. James slurped on his strawed pina colada. I have been thinking of where he could be for weeks. It has to be like the legend. And like the legend, the strike only works for perfectly made katanas. Don't wake the Egyptian gods, they're from this plane. They are arrogant and weak to voice knowledge. They will be replaced and lazy. He told them everything they needed to know. Enter Sandex with bridges into sandy choices, all through its 10 centimeters difference. They go like buses, well not that often maybe, said the captain. A shipworker here is called a daft hand. James found a drunk captain ready to go all the way to the tombs. He was cheaper, but said he magically runs the ship as well when drunk. He seemed like a man brought down by things others told him. Just a man, just unable in the ways of everyone else. There are solar sails, ships channeling electricity and capturing atoms of Harubek's cosmic colors of canvases, capturing the sun at its highest point and the ozone layer being distraught. They climbed a huge dark brown gallery, Blackguard's Barrel, 5 rows of sails. It was mostly sails. It had triple front cannons and 2 rocket bottoms back, it seemed, taking up most of the backside. The stairs were easy vertical 30 steps built into the ship. Cheap 15 quid for traveling or 18 for a room to themselves. At the 5th floor, they had a luxury room with brass telescope, kaleidoscope, old bookshelf, contemporary magazines like Bludgeoning 101, Warrior's Arsenal. There was a cello and strings for bows like Left by Interest. They could sit with fancy British-looking furniture and cook yestel, although there was only a piece of toast. The captain seemed surprised someone paid him and corrected his sailor's hat. He fired up the engine, blew flare back. It seemed as easy as splitting the seas. Up and down it went through sand dunes, some 50 meters high. James imagined a beautiful starry sky. In the bottom deck you will find manual cycles. Ride a bit on them and crank the engine going faster. Doing nothing is not the custom. Some people are always cycling in the front. It's a job. The gallery works between physical work, magical woodwork like puppets obeying and blue flare. I'm a bodybuilder. I will help you little boy scouts out. There were rows of cycles at the bottom. In the front were 2 red orcs, one redder, one more orange. They looked at James displeased as they started back on cycling. Arnaud entereth. This is easy, you just have to get used to the strain, and you can go for an hour. I'm so strong it's been years since I felt strain getting mentally exhausting or having to push with my willpower. Arnaud started coughing from his cigarette. When it's a good sunny day, you're full of energy waiting to physically work. I could run a marathon each one of those days, and that could be a lot of days in a row. I am the unit of London. It will probably be overtraining, maybe longer. I have not tried. When my body eventually gives up, it doesn't show any weakness before. Sounds like heart or diet trouble somehow. It sounds like you're saying something else. Well, you know, technically it's taxing for the heart to be 170 kilograms muscle or 170 kilograms fat. It doesn't know the difference. Steroids can enlarge your heart, and it is not beneficial. Being big could affect my longevity unless I train my heart. Mostly it's not base conditioning, as you know, it's temporary heart conditioning. I have to make sure I exercise aerobically every 3 to 7 days for the rest of my life. One day when I have not worked out for weeks, that could be the heart attack. I need surgery to fix this or spells, maybe I will get weaker. That is the cost. Yes, I know it takes 2 weeks for you to lose temporary conditioning, but quick to get back. You also get muscle back quick if you've been bigger. The body remembers the blueprint of your biggest size. One example is Kevin Levron from My Time and Age, arms like legs. He was a seasonal bodybuilder and put on and lost size almost magically, a philosopher that traveled the world and got second place most times, a rare first place.
That struck me this thought that, bodybuilders eat more meat uh, to get protein and to get big while exercising. What would the doctors say if you triple their meat intake? They're literally dying because of this mistake. Not only do you get more protein on a vegan diet, I don't remember if it's complete protein source or not. He didn't say that, but 9 grams more instead of 45. And what was I saying? Yeah, they don't want to do it because it's taboo to be vegan. Well, at least thing you could do is just get your protein powder. Oh wait, that is actually, it's from milk. Whey protein, for example, is actually not from a milk source with cholesterol, or saturated fat. They're different things, but you don't have to. How about don't eat more meat, but just eat more protein powder instead? There's also no reason why protein powder should be giving you less muscle than steak. Eat whole foods. If your advice is to make people, yes, another crazy thing, right? Don't eat, supplements. Just eat whole foods. If that food is poisonous, or part of a metabolic syndrome with chronic diseases, and it's poisonous, it's terrible, then you're actually making people less healthy. You can also say dying for your pride, dying for a mistake. You could, right? No one's too offended I say that, right? But you don't want to die because you don't want to appear less manly, right? What would my friends say if I ate more broccoli? Yeah, just going back to when I was vegan, right? And I'm in this mindset, in this kind of preaching kind of mindset, right? With opinions and arguments, like a debater. I eat some meat now, so it's still part of a very healthy diet anyway. Most things are vegan as they should be. It's an amazing inventory. Yeah, meat is like meat makes your bones weaker and has heavy metals, which hurts your everything, and it makes you more sick and more depressed. And the saturated fat is the most inflammatory thing we know, and it gives you heart disease and other chronic diseases. You don't want to increase that for more muscle. And yet you see these I don't want to. You wanna see something else here too? It's just one more, a little bit more for the peak. Let's just kill some ghouls. You, yeah, you. Yeah, I should just go a bit broader here. Even though I'm informing you, at least you know, right? The normal food we eat isn't normal at all. It makes us sick and is several times worse than you think. And eating a normal diet today will give you normal chronic diseases and normal dying too early, right? You know all those people who used to live to 100? People who live to 100, the diets they have to live that long seems to be 90% vegan. Retreat from meat slash sugar, nuts, coffee and tea are the most normal drink. One thing you could do is reduce meat and saturated fat, eat more green plant stuff, or 75% vegan or 50% vegan, you know? The reasonable thing to do for good health is eating a large amount of plant stuff, yeah. Yeah, you see these powerlifters, for example, being very overweight and eating so much meat, you know. This guy Brian Shaw, for example, it's even more common there to just eat a bunch of meat. I can click. No, I can't actually. Damn it. Well, am I gonna start blue shot? Nah, not yet. Yeah, I want powerlifters to eat even more meat, right? And Brian Shaw takes raw meat to with him traveling in huge bags, and that's a grill in the hotel room, so he makes a kilo of steak. You know, it's definitely not a recipe of brilliance, right, or success. It's so easy to talk about this stuff. It feels like it's and if you're gonna eat meat, at least so much each time, you know. All right.
Where someone was missing or sick, sometimes that's what's required. You wondered why he was never in the limelight, had the best proper shoulders and arms. Talking to the nicer person was like stepping into a philosophical world. He was so tough he would surround himself with pain and deny himself human properties, ready to transform and everything required. He is also one of the few that joined Mr. Olympia competition, the bodybuilding competition with politics for legends. At 50, it was a comeback of the arms, retaining the same size and still beating people in the crab pose. Hours later, back on deck. It's funny you being nerdy and Hulk-like. It's like a chess player Hulk with glasses, Arnaud said with the thickest accent. Most giants aren't peaceful, you know. James put on his secretary-looking glasses. I don't have to be actionable all the time. Nature and animals mesmerize me, thus I am one with them. I feel nature like in sunlight and through the plants. Art, theater, and opera makes me feel impectually mesmerized, very present like I'm getting sucked in the relevance of time. I've never said it, but when I see patterns and pieces, there comes a flood of connection. James. Spirits and my guides talk to me if I do too much killing. I feel the unbalance in the universe like it was my own French kidney pie being taken away, he said solemnly. Arnaud. Tombs of ancient gods, thus, you'll want your heads about you. The captain drunk another half bottle. I'll drink for you if I think you die. Poor souls, he whispered to himself. There were sandy tombs, but mostly underneath. The whole looked auspicious. Spiritually, I feel like there's something ancient and sacred here, which I interpret the energy to be what we're looking for. There were some half-orc goblins. They were stout and round with maces and hooked swords, crouching on frog-like legs. The attacks were fine for the party, but they were hard to kill, thus the defiant and grunty sounds. They could not speak, about as annoying as killing cockroaches. There was a tunnel with traps and a room of snakes, but someone had bombed a shortcut. It led to a bonus place with barbarian runes. Arnaud regurgitated a dynamite. Kaboom. Claim our treasure, you need platina and steel and magical properties. You will be the first cyborg golem of the sands. You with the arm is eligible. Absorb the grandest smith's spirit, create weapons for the gods. You have found wisdom, but this is not the final room, neither is awakening the gods. I shall sacrifice my robot arm. His exoskeleton arm was removed, floated until it was magically crushed in gravity. With a loud magical hammer, it was heated, then reforged into a twice as long and big metallic arm with a huge long shoulder plate made James look disproportional. The forearm could be made into a glaive shield. James tested its power against the tombs and didn't need the cannon. It seemed like a dungeon crawl. The floors beneath were getting bigger in rectangles. They found leathery undead with different weapons like razor bows and arbalest. They fought golems and giant golems that resisted steel and magic. Half-giants with beer glasses, armored giant beetles, enemy that didn't die but respawned in 20 minutes with a new soul. The floors had stairs in different places. You would need to ice over canyon waterfalls, cool down lava, and wither bloom. Time-consuming enemies, giant insects they fought until they just tried to avoid breaking rubble behind, getting pinned down anyway. Arnaud made baguettes spawn from the eyes of goblins. What the fuck, James? Halls promised treasure, but purple withered their food. Their stamina and mana were tested drinking almost every mana restoration vial, as long floors could not be rest. Entering the same Egyptian-like corridors, you enter to the probable Egyptian boss room. Look at how the rooms are constructed. We will have to fight Ra and Sobek. Quite dangerous if we're going to get through. They went into a huge circular room with carved men and hieroglyphs around them. I can't tell what the story is about. This is annoying. Do we know anyone who reads runes? There was a circle in the middle down like a sun and 18 rays of rough sunshine, or just rectangles from the middle. Raw and pixelated rays of sunshine was summoned from the feet up with Sobek, crocodile god of the Nile. Ra was a humanoid mage looking with bird head. He was shining between white and golden colors. He was detailed armor like from another time, leaving half his body furry, arms free. He was obviously a mage with several wands locked to his belt. Sobek was a muscle monster with an espolarm and crocodile head. He seems like he hid the protection of his peer. He would be a godly sentinel. Their armor seems related to each other. James wondered, did he have the muscle to 1v1 with a god? They have deep strength and the movement of stars. The corridor turned stretched and long. Arnaud had the wits to blast them apart as raw lasers sniped them. It was wide and seamless. It was just like Yensid. Maybe there were different kinds of lasers. James unleashed thus polearm and teleported them just like in practice, and Sobek slammed his polearm practiced. You needed lightning reflexes to block this. You wish to fight the god of the sun. Sobek swung again with his polearm that blasted James back. A power of gods, there would be no parrying his polearm. Seismic cleave. Sobek had swung with fluency. James dodged the teal sparkling of metal. Seismic cleave. Sobek attack again, and Predatory jumped after them like a rabbit hop. Arnaud made an explosive distraction and backstabbed Ra surprisingly. The dagger had impact power of foreshadowing levels, and Ra bounced to the floor. Surrender your will. Ra brought out illusions of himself and stabbed thrice. Safety javelin. Arnaud threw his spare javelin hidden in dimensions of lucrativeness. The tear hit Ra in the left chest. Holy shit, he is combating a god, James and Sobek said to each other. I might be out of a job. I am used to protection like a couch of Bacchus, vivified audience, said Sobek. He is the assassin of Einhunjar French without gout. James and Sobek unleashed 4 weapons each and attacked each other like honorable members. Eventually they wrestled to the ground and rolled until another direction. There was a competitive speed to Arnaud. He left in shadow and had bakery skills, used axes and summoned weapons and ammo from Solgar Dock dimensions, pocket dimensions, around you like a cabinet. You cannot beat the sun.
I
Ra
should talk
started a
to
bestial scream and
Cat or
shone from
me,
his
right?
opulent center. The lum increased like a futuristic tablet. We're out of time. James threw his polearm and it decimated through the air. Surprise dynamite. Arnaud regurgitated an
What's your
expensive
name?
black and
Hamster,
golden
hamster
dynamite
me.
designed for the most unsafe of excavation, stressed Foreman. The dynamite blasted and Ra stopped, shining bright. I am Ukishidate. You have come knowing of my unholy strikes. Sorry, there was no better place than this plain and small room. Also, I forget to clean my study. I'm just a spectator, gleeful companion of the musculum egregious. Arnaud. I don't know what the rules say about spectators, be on your best behavior. I teach the unsheathing attack that cuts through anything. There was enough pillars and rooms here, too. James pulled his katana. Duel me and I shall teach, said the red golden samurai with a gigantic headpiece ornament, looking cultural and royal. James clad himself in absolute unit. Yes, this is the best defense, if anything. They fought sword to sword, picking up speed and bloodfire assault. Feet went forwards, then sideways. Shields were presented quick. Magic was used. After 15 minutes, no one had still gotten a hit in on each other. Whatever, I'll teach you the strike. This prowess is what I'm looking for, you know. I'm not doubting like a teacher sending you to summer school. This is as fast as I can go. James sheathed his katana. Your defense is intelligent. Understand this. This is a fighting spirit attack. You need to emanate something like a goddess of destruction. I have. May I ask which? The Nemesis killing machine, I realize now, is just samurai history, powered by past selves' retribution. More smarts, I empower your fighting spirit now by my generations and your generations. You have been samurai before. You are familiar to me like a cousin spiritually. That is why it is so easy to speak, why there is easy casually. I am more spiritual than you. It is my last life here as well. What do you do here while you wait? Meditate, eat enchiladas, and write poetry. Loyalty is like a leaf in the winds
Damn
of
it.
temptation. James felt more bound to retribute like a nemesis. A huge black and red swirl 1 meter in diameter danced around Ronan's sword being unsheathed. And around quickly in the air until 4 by 4 meters were covered. It was quite a demon aura. Use speed technique and unsheath. Go through your opponent. You don't need strength for this. You need strength when you hit a wall, a spiritual weave. You will need to concentrate the power of impossible swordmen, 1,000 years of intending to strike and 1,000 years of sharp remarks. Then you will cut. You cannot cut that which is just normal work. They should not know they're cut necessarily unless you overpower legendary sound effects. Instantly, the samurai had sliced and was found 3 meters behind, having sheathed and unsheathed his weapon surprisingly. It was hard, but James got his demon aura going half as
Wow, look at the
impressive
flower.
like colors dropped in water and targeted a pillar in the tomb. It got sliced. Again, I will protect the next thus. James very quickly zoomed, thus like even this was not too difficult. After analyzing the source and being a genius, he could do it himself. 3 seconds later, the pillar stopped holding and fell. Now this adamant, animated samurai. James was happy when it dissolved into ash. The man understands, now he can cut. My stamina, I need some chocolate. You can never be bitten by a parrot, then it will stop working. What if I bite the parrot? As far as we know, there is nothing that can withstand it, steel or spirit. You have become retribution, nemesis samurai. Going back on sand dunes sturdy. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? They saw a light green ship like an alien laser beam plowing across the sand, up and down like driven by the most expensive Yamaha motorboat engine. It shone like the most natural insect given night luminescence. Its sails were grand gray, looking like gray duvet. Some black and gold polished segments flickered dimensionally in view, like there were 4D chess. The ships aligned and stopped like a head pressed against a poisoned pike. You dare linger around the immortal dead, said a crowned dead pirate looking with golden stringed watches, ripped and hold velvet cloak, giant light green shadowy two-handed sword. The king swung overhead slowly with his giant sword, thus James unholstered. Nemesis unholy strikes speed technique. James blocked his overhead slash to the side. Maddening clashing sounds elongated their will and will to live against fighting. It is Peacemaker, Oathkeeper the true. My name is James. It is both. You can kill me even as a spirit. I happily do not risk this fight. What makes you angry? Who are you? How can the dead be immortal? Everyone has a spiritual name as well. Come aboard, Slayer. He gesticulated with a dead hand and stared like nothing could enter his mind. They went into the captain's quarters. There were so many riches here: golden teazet, soup spoon, and cookie estel. Freaky dead crew members with pink, black, and golden aprons poured a flagon of wine down the captain's throat. They laughed with impossible hark as the waterfall of wine, poured directly into the throat, seemed not to pour through. James sipped on his golden teacup filled with wine. We are the time thieves, immortal species that replicate every 1,000 years. We are dead, so we cannot die yet, are cursed to be busy in the spirit world. The astral plane is like dangerous space in many ways. We spend our pirate times hoarding the best treasure time has prospected, and now again beating the crap out of the live competition. The king of the dead laughed tauntingly and heartily, like there was no challenge, hit his fist on the table. I am sodden wit of the insane. This French-looking pirate had no eyes in his skull but chilly, overclothed. We are bound as spirits, might as well be dead sometimes, non-physical, you know. Give me a taste of the luxurious dead. We will bring you wine and a golden pocket watch for you to tell the time. People think there are 9 dimensions. There is nothing at all. 3 cups were filled with 100-aged wine. This is Chateau Lafite from 1200, 1600, and 2200. Honestly, they taste very different for being the same wine. We drink gladly because it dulls our spiritual senses. I prevent my insane episodes with a dip of the hamster in wine and Krug 1700, said Wit of the Insane. He put a hamster under his upper lip. He stood bent over his polearm, looking into the floor deadly for 7 seconds lost. He was emanating something like denial of logic and his better self, being intense and a bastard. It really works. I too only fill my hamster with expensive wine. Krug fills my veins as much as water, said King Dead. Krug is hard to find these days, enhances the flavor. You know your wine's Jim Human, he scrolled. You're great company for being dead. Do you have any phone batteries from the future? This Nokia flagship Erebus from 2200 will last you a long time. He opened the phone with dead fingers, obsessed, kingly opulent. See, the flip phone is back. James exchanged batteries like a genius inventor. Suck on this laudanum water pipe, harmless from 2100 if you can handle the effects. James sucked down the misty pink haze and felt disillusional, floating on the sea. He felt dead, lost, merging with things like the earth like a plant. You don't need friends when you have this pink laudanum. I saw the inventor of the disco ball invent the party elemental in another life, said a paladin looking white, long-haired and stout, heavy black armor straight up to his chin, 2-handed flail thick as an atlas stone. I can call you on this number. It might be the end of times. It might be worth your time. An army that can't be cut is handy. I am not completely spirit. We are forever chased by death as a spirit and his timeless cousin golden unworthy silence, giant breath that calls you from the center of light, what mortal could escape? They respected him enough to see his heartbeat crunch munchily. He was safe from predator staring, broken promises for ego and aggression evil. A poison botanist that gardens iron thorns got their attention dead through his thick waist and assertiveness. Try something defying from my garden, a green potion that will speed you up 2 times and your mind thrice, manipulate your opponent in fogs of black anguish. Goodbye, respect to those that can challenge the immortal dead. You'd be surprised at the list of enemies already vanquished, said James at this part of the book. If you enter hell, I want something from Satan, he whispered and coiled, then whispered plot like Greek. Only thing I want to do is explore heaven's desolate South Pole, crossing bridges in the sky while it is still hot, walking on the clouds of Ganymede. Back thinking of going back to the Salgar University, they tried another Blackguard restaurant. This time it was a vegetarian, more Indian food-looking place. They got the flavor with cheese and spices. They ate like front-teeth horses but left feeling light. Cheese is the vegetarian trick to compete with meat, and it is just as unhealthy. Goddamn, that was some good vegetarian Indian food, solid like a kidney stone. Fate pulls me to non-bread baking. I find myself saying this expression too. Maybe I should bake non-bread at least. They found something black dwarves did excellent, siege weapons and artillery. They asked and got to learn a lot about their ballistas and trebuchet, pouring magical hot oil on enemies while they were sieging below a castle, to fortify and bombard with black powder, anti-artillery, artillery 2, dwarven culverins, and dropping fist-shaped stones on enemies sieging under. James took one course of butt magic that only required you to go to elven restaurants. While they were eating beans and burritos, empanadas and cheese, they were taught, your butt is a strong muscle, your butt is power, and the fatter or muscular you are usually the better. If your muscles are genetically strong, you have potential to use your ass. The strongest butt wizards are indeed physical marvels. James put use in remembering the butt technique deafen, a deafening flatulence that silenced magic and removed hearing and manners for 5 minutes. In the arrogant fire magic courses too, they were learning to detonate surfaces. Some were easy, others like living things or stone didn't like getting ignited. Again, James showed a lot of promise, making the second biggest stone balloon before it detonated. Mana and Life Leech might be useful, but you could not attack while doing it. But James envisioned sometimes it might be the only thing you can do. Trying to go on an adventure again with Arnaud in the sandy furnace of desolation, they came across an expensive curiosity shop. James could not buy many totems of silver, voodoo tablets and skulls with candles before his money would run out. You're not questionable enough to shop here, you look like a tit. You don't have to spell it out. What's that? It's a key you put into your keychain. It was black and smoking, looked like a pillar of agonizing victims. Do you know where it leads, stranger? He said, like knowing this would be punishing. No, these planes get stranger wherever we go, needless to say. I won't come here again, and you won't ever see it again. He spoke of cunning being skinny and dry. Minus 4,000 quid to tickle your adventure. Don't you want to access another plane? I'll buy it from you if you decrease the price. Who do you think is going to buy it for 4,000? Do you know what this cost me? The bent-over man talked like a mystic victim of great adventures. Do you know what it cost me to get out? Bending forward's magic stopped hiding scars, small horns, and a completely white dead eye. No, but I'll emphasize. Minus 3,000 quid then, you better buy it. Done deal. Thus, James smiled, knowing he beget the deal. What is unknown and worth so much, don't throw it all away, proclaimed Arnaud. Everyone knows a celebrity shouldn't burn all his new winnings on vehicles. We'll say. Activating the key, they fell through the floor and entered in what seemed a rabbit hole of strange furniture and animals and abstract paintings, but you wanted to follow it through and make it logical. Falling, eventually things sped up and it got hotter and brighter so fast it was agonizing. They had to balance on rays of dark-colored sunlight. With a cosmic-like shard skateboard, there came different sunlight beams. They jumped sideways and grinded, artistly upwards through sunlight of every shape, sometimes falling 30 meters to hit a tiny beam below. There were lava streams on the sides, and a bright light started emanating from inside them like menopause. Just when they thought the fire would tear apart and destroy, and the destination was being reached, they exited on a hellscape. Chapter 5, Hell. Where did we go? Said Spartacus. They were on a lava floating, but mostly black rock in a black hellscape, smoky red horizon with no sun. It smelled burnt and of sulfur.
Did we go to hell?
Did we go to hell?
I thought that was further.
I thought this was Florida. Look, there's an alligator. Gosh, why would we end up in a place like this? They found a party next to a giant French-looking giant gate, or castle looking next to a bridge. Ah, a new recruit, said a hero looking blonde with golden armor, hair, muscular over fat and double chin. Welcome to hell, the lowest level of the elevator. We can't get out, can we? Arnaud considered an escape and acceptance like entering into a gray world. No, well, really, as long as you have a keychain, and you're not dead, you can teleport out here at the gates of limbo. Here are the men that knew no justice nor righteousness. They had no mercy and cowardly an adversary, he continued. There's religion in hell. What's the bloody right religion then? Arnaud said, losing his previous conceptions. They don't tell you you're supposed to live religiously as a disciple and stop your wicked ways. That's the safest, best, I think, that holds up. Because further down in the 9 circles of hell, it takes a lot to get to. Another party member, an elite elf with a wild beast bow, stag horns, white blank eyes, and a belt of monster slayer bombs of every kind, said, We are not omnipotent. The best judge for your sins is your own consciousness and heart. If you do not think things you've done are so bad, they're not maybe. Wickedness gets you a long way here, not being lesbian or having honored the wrong details to worship. The hero continued,
Maybe
"Did you not know?
unreasonable.
Heaven and hell is at war again for the last time. All planes will be affected as good wins over evil. Hopefully."
I think it's a joke about Olive Garden's Randy Place's infinite pasta bowl. It's funny if people go like, great, great more parmesan. Then when she's done, she's going, all right, let's go get another wheel.
Ways to influence heaven and hide many abysmal weapons, mythical and forgotten. He's
Say,
corrupting everything he touches,
stop.
hidden,
Please
disguised
say
as
stop.
people you
You
won't
said
expect.
I would
Many.
say stop.
We are going to
What?
raid hell at
Stop.
this time. Swipe the contraptions, riches, and weapons, defeat Satan, make our own powerful reign on Einhinjar. We'll delve in the irony of sin for undeserving men. We'll see what happens. An elven priest conservative with battle robes. There is supposed to be more ways for
What the
redemption
fuck
here.
is this?
Although the test
This
not
only happens
obvious,
to
you're
me.
only supposed to be punished so far. Eternal hell is not for every soul. The spirit of a tortured soul appeared white, shorter, and gleaming. You could see mechanical wings. She's right, you know, this is a corrupted place. Maybe I have a chance to return, reincarnated with memory swept. I hope I don't sin again. Death in black swirls appeared with hollow hood and scythe and 26-inch gray arms. Priestess eeped at the energy of the stare, most black and hollow. "I didn't know death lifted heavy weight," said James. "I have sensed you as my friend's suicidal." "I have business with Satan. James, you have never been near death unless in a fight. I am not completely spirit. I need to work out. Bony arms does not swing a scythe. You are so stupid in depression with your fate
Martin
and indignation
Twat lost and
potential.
found.
Stop thinking about pills. Get rid of the sleeping pills. You don't need them. You can also choose to die forever here, never to live again,
goes in my
never to
book.
be tortured again eventually. Don't choose it. It's literally surrendering your soul to Satan. We keep giving awards to people for their stupidest, conscious deaths and put it on YouTube, named after a biologist, Darwin, the Darwin Awards. I know these death worshippers. It's funny, like that guy who was selling skyscraper glass. He charged into the glass with all he physically had. Indeed, it was indestructible, but the glass popped out of frame and he fell down with his pitch. I'm thus counting everyone who gets crushed by a
All
piano.
right.
Death.
That's too close to runescape, but sue me, you know? Or not sue me, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Your book is too close to the game, what are you gonna do? If I trust your own game too much, yeah, doesn't make any...
Pulled a scrawny scroll he make across
That's
marks with a
funny.
finger. I heard about a German who pushed an industrial leaf blower up his ass with his friends edging him. If Satan takes over heaven, there will be hellspawn and smoldering hellscape everywhere, and people will be unable to choose between right and wrong, confused and sedated, scared to counter evil people. Every good person will be dead, then stillborn, a feast for flies. We can convince Satan to renounce his throne, give him power
Martin
and
Twat
territory
stolen,
somewhere
lost
else.
and found.
But there are 13 family members related to Satan who will have to be convinced as well, or they can take over his reign. Good enough to progress, maybe. Grandfather of hell is not a good idea. Maybe we should aim for this, said James. If hell is ruled by a weaker sister, maybe things will stay under the lid. It was time for him to use his whole brain and heart, and he stored a good amount of lethal lava land leaf as well, enough to smoke like a wise wizard every lunch. You raiders should consider forcing him to renounce with force, said Death. I might help. Dying feels like walking faint in a world of shadows. You have high cholesterol, French Arnaud guy, keep smoking. Arnaud threw his primitive cigarette away. What I am really feeling is how close you are to a heart attack, said Death. It feels like hot arguments, like with high blood pressure. I can feel it too, said James. All through I am conservative like Burke. I fill my role. Don't let it enter your mind to try and kill me, James. Death said psychically. James' instincts were flaring. That was very specific. He's giving it away. But what would I gain from killing Death? He knows about the unholy strike. James kept pondering this as everyone talked in a circle around him. The hero continued. All food in hell is at least 5,000 scovel. Tastier things might turn into ash in your mouth. The coffee is burnt even for Italians. There's only variants of chili as a spice. Thus there are baths, but the water is boiling. Satan appeared as a 4 meter red-spiked demon, but darker as a black spirit, communicating like a telephone. What are you lot doing here? He said unintelligently. Bask in the glorious first steps. Your gambit with heaven will lose everything to us, said the hero, brave indeed. You can't descend past the fallen angel, yet breach our castle at the edge of the abyss. Nice tricks of the mind, Satan, said James. Twice the pride, double the velocity, I smash you through the wall. It's true, you are chanceless against me as well. I have skewered giants like boars and adventurers with the latest brave tricks, weapons of blinding light and mental crushing betrayal. Righteous people I have smashed through unconscious, laying on their back in brave armor. My kin is loyal, might play your role, but report to me like successor of demon. Find your place on my corrupted court instead. Go all the way in sin, believe in yourself, not God or religion. Commit every sin, come to hell a legend. James realized now Satan was an ENTP personality type, a real devil's advocate. Maybe he wasn't much of a thinker unless monologuing what you need to do to sin, join him, and how the light is wrong, like an accountant. What is buried may never surface. Satan disappeared in a black swirl feet first. The elf priest said, here in limbo, the first circle, you can find lots of petty things taken too far, in arguments, bad decisions after lovers leave, suicides, and good people making some bad decisions. I feel tired, hungry, hot, and thirsty, said Spartacus. You're always hungry and thirsty in hell, said the hero. Don't ignore it. If you have muscle or fat, they will wither. Everything is on a timer for the living. You think your mind breaking will be fine, losing common laughter and joy, dripping brain, you will recover slowly. A timer to ignore, to spend your ambition too late. James said, I know what can break a castle siege, black dwarf artillery. I'll be back double quick. I'm not going to sit around waiting. I'll join you, said Arnaud, deciding intelligently in the moment. James came back stocked on food and drink and mana potions. Arnaud pushed 2 black dwarf bombards and scrolls of ushing in more artillery at the right moment, grand, expensive teleports. I also brought wizard Yensid. A but magician is never late, he is just interrupting, Yensid said like a hero, hands on hips, elbows out. We waited for you for 60 minutes. And now I am waiting on you, keep up. That is the slayer of the blood gods, said Arnaud unexpectedly, never gazed upon the grandeur. I don't believe anything like that. Is he pointing at you, Yensid? There is something you don't know about me. I met a plane and species them so hungry and devoid. Insect men, if they had expanded another 10 years, they would have killed us all and then the next plane. So I farted, changing their magnetic field. They all died horribly. I had to drop out at the clouds 4,000 m on Einhorn, but I double jumped at the end. I'm fine. What's those stairs into clouds over there? I don't know, I don't live here, he said stupidly. James and Arnaud went up green-gray beautiful stairs. It felt like elevating. There was a beefy, very fully clad soldier with a 2-handed winged sword coming down, winged helmet up like knives, chest muscles giant and symmetrical through the plate. He looked indomitable and focused on the task, thus ignoring them. Humph. They gathered steps into the clouds, into a golden white fortress. It was like songs of ancient battle, details carved like endless time into plate and pillar, intelligence in a better place. They felt light and forgetting their worries, having to readjust later. We're busy deploying troops, said a similar knight, no winged helm. How are you doing? While we walked up a lot of stairs, I feel dizzy. This is the last outpost haven before the step of hell. We're going to raid hell. Maybe you won't push us out the door then. No, I might mention this to Archangel Ariel. How my wings are really coarse behind this plate body splendor. There is respite, soldiers. There was an armory. The armor was heavier and legendary, detailed and ancient, a story of art on each plate body. There was a golden white library with thick history books and stories of struggle, or just a very large row of bookshelves to your south entering. There were winged warriors in the helms, swords, etc., sitting over their swords, contemplating, preparing for fate. In the camp they had winged cavalry, jousting horsemen with lance of the sun. They could shift into pure sunlight to go through the enemy, no damage incorporeal forms. They met the incorporeal heaven, emotionally distant core corporal. For being a general, he was finally compassionate, thinking, and didn't just think about chain of command. He looked like a hard-as square general, though. It all comes down to this. We have light elementals spawned through blissful deeds of the righteous. They can absorb the energy and years from an enemy, then blind them and stun them. Burning eyes, the blind last longer. The regular and nemesis griffins dropping bombs are intelligent. They are birds. The golden-plated, wide-helmed arbalist shot through every enemy, dangerous like worry. They were protected by the golden sentinels, stoic and plated like heaven's promise. Barbed giant spears and absorbing melee and ranged attacks. If you got close to the golden arbalist, they always got a hit in. Out came a supreme seraph, an armored 4M archangel behind white robes beneath, robes showing about 30%. He had two two-handed swords, one the legendary patriarch, fiery greatsword as good-looking as they come, and a phase blade, the grandfather. They actually increased his defense and magical shields thus. Demons have a hard time to fight around an archangel. His aura and holy light protects units from smoldering fire, magic, and darkness. In the halls of the opulent, grand to roof haven they found god Bacchus, god of winemaking, epiphany, festivity, and theater. They decided to drink with the Angles and had a terrific time, surprisingly in energy elevated, forced into things it felt like. Sometimes it required more energy. I'm really enjoying the new cultivating and purple teal plants from the Delicacy Islands. I could keep working there more than anything else for you guys. I feel like there is meaning, and I'm content with the hours. We must provide for ourselves like there is no God, sitting in his elevated Greek opera lawyer hall and deciding our charity. Their God, gods in other planes, and worshipping of places sure to change, Arnaud said to himself. You have come here for help. I'm sure you need it in your midst, said an angel brown-haired, curled twice at his temple and chestplate without arms. Your story has not been in vain. Know the embrace of the angels and the fruit of your progress. You have a strong heart. I know you can do it. Your path lies before you and can be read with a few paths. James woke up later in a purple-white pillow infestation with pink mantle. He seemed to be drunk still or afflicted. There seemed to be someone looking down at him like holy. Light blinded him at her sides and above. Wake, handsome man, I know of your deeds, they told me everything. Her voice was deep and echoing, like allowing herself to be unwomanly brusque. Hello, woman of heavenly confusion, and why did I change clothes? 3 meters, she seemed rectangular, plain, and almost fat except a pink-white mantle of clouds, and she was clothed Greek, had yellow rings in her horns on the sides like a demon. They were carved and like elephant tusks, but there seemed to be divine and worship around her, definitely a good deity. James thought of lines of worship and would hurry up. You are like a Greek Olympian cast now. Maybe you would fit in anvil throwing and discus discourse. Are you a challenger? Of course, I am a challenger of Olympics, and in wheelchair sports, I am a prodigy. I am sexy with legs not moving, sitting around for my might and arms. You don't need legs for every sport. I could just push you along, cute giggle asterisk, to prove everything all the time just spends a lot of time. James decided to be complimenting and worshipping, or kind. You are eternal in your mind, and pink laudanum landscape. I love a toy with righteous plight, a landscaper with intent. She was enthralling and dreamy. I have seen you in my dreams, maybe, something pulling me the right way. Surely I would end up here. Seems just about time. Have you always looked like this? Your shape is fair, and I can see your eyes. My eyes are a mystery, like the clouds we look at with spiritual scope, or planets in a ring. I see some things in purple mystery and paths we go in lives. If you do not make too many sudden moves, some things I do not see. It was time to be deep in seers of mirrored moons and allow her to be excellent, now that she decided to show it off. What is my purpose here? You came here. What is my purpose in this very visit? I snatched you. She came closer, snared him with her body, then being adjacent with her body resting on her elbow. She looked so interested, yet it was time to not say anything stupid. She started cuddling and treated him as a plaything. In this way and duration it felt heavenly. You dare use your fingers like inspecting. I am a fierce warrior. I am sure I can handle any sword or lightning bolt you can wield. She cuddled him dramatically and enjoyed herself feeling his muscles, comparing him. What could he do? He was like a toy in a bubble. We will find a place for you, young one. Her voice was like hairspray and considering physical cohesiveness. They were reminded before leaving. We will come with you, but our general are poor to time strikes right now. He is the general posthumous, always arriving when the battle is over. He's not too blunt in tactics, strategy, really.
I did type
He's
wheel
out of
correctly.
time and almost
Well,
forgot.
let's see.
Can we rely on him?
No, it's wheel.
Surely.
Not wheel.
Resist hamster potion. When would we need that? Down the stairs. I'll slow my metabolism down to stop withering. The party entered the gate and over a 100-meter bridge, true river of fire. Jesus Christ, what is that mass? It's a river of swarming accountants next to the fire, must be thousands. They swarmed in blue-collar shirts, conservative correction and anguish. The certainty of accountancy, potency, and accuracy, it is inescapable. You sound like you admire them. I fear them, I was being poetic. Don't encourage them, they'll come back in greater numbers. The night is dark and full of accountants. The river of unrelenting revisers led to a giant courtroom. Inside stood a 7-meter giant blind with vertical slits for nose and eyes, gavel in his left hand and sword in the other. Gray and cut flesh, he had smoldering wings. Behind them, they saw a Scottish accountant with gaping zombie content with malice, walking on his hands and legs. He defiled a close-by accountant, climbed over him. Awa and bile your hide, go away and stop bothering me. They shut the door behind them, and he didn't really comprehend the problem.
What?
Life is Scottish, why should the afterlife be any different? He screamed at the door, it preventing him from chasing after them. Court session is in order. A poor soul stood next to a podium in the middle. Imps were laughing disassociated, and pale souls and ghosts sat in the rising seats. Please, I never did anything illegal for my company. I just needed to keep the company alive. So many people depended on me, mortgages. I am reasonable and good, fair to my allies and not greedy. I do not have eyes, but it allows me to smell your lie. You did illegal laundering for years, paying taxes when you could afford. People tell a different story about in hell. You killed Christina's steward, you used every power, pushed her into a dwarven woodchucker so she would not uncover your smelly
Oh, that's
corporation.
what.
Fourth circle of hell, he said ultimately. What do we have here? A party of
Listen
alive
to.
sinners. I
I
am
did the best paying
Ouroboros, the
attention.
judge into hell. Pray I don't smell your lie. Wait. 2 murderers here and 2
Wait.
glutton, Arnaud and James. Ouroboros took a long pause, then said surprisingly nice. Killing people is seriously bad, guys. Who are you to decide if someone lives or dies? Remember not to be cold-hearted. You are only a proper fair judge until you meet someone stronger.
Maybe I should type the audiobook. Yeah, it's gonna have a stroke here. Carrot, 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 carrot. We have what you type two triangles on the bottom.
Sooner or later, I don't mind waiting. My revenge is sweet, justice unescapable. I shall go easy on you as you are alive. Gluttony isn't really that bad. What am I supposed to do, make you lose all the fat? Bodybuilders are the second biggest gluttons. Did you really think you needed 10,000 calories per day? Look where I got for my sins. I thought I was in the final lap of winning, running away from everything the fastest. I didn't know my savory lies could only take me so far. I know yours through competence and intuition, eternal third black eye, Ouroboros. If you work in hell, it must be punishment enough, said James conversationally. There is still alcohol and haggis pie for my services, he said abruptly. Look, Ouroboros, we want to enter hell alive and cause havoc, abrupt Satan benefiting heaven. I remember heaven, maybe I can still visit my family someday. My burnt wings are that of a fallen angel, but you want to enter hell willingly? Seriously, hilarious, I will grant you passage thus. I try to get people into hell, you know, sniff anyway, and I'll keep the gates open if you return. If you are alive, you can choose to help souls absolve their sins or punish them. They all lie, but be a good judge. You can't put the wrong man into eternal hell. Here we see the value of true regret. Obviously, don't fake regret, idiots. Understand what you have done. Feel the victim's emotion. They went until the magical elevator of hell. It looked like a demon. Always late and got to floors randomly. Get stuck to fool you and you feel sickening if you fear elevators. Magically, it got wider for the whole party and opened glass windows so they could see souls agonizing. There's so many people here. There is every toil, trick, and tainted hook. Into the circle of greed and religious misuse. Priestess, here lies those that did everything wrong and then said in the name of God. In fear, hate, and negative religion. 4 generations of crusaders lie here, toiling in work and hate. They died for nothing. Christianity didn't do anything holy in those lands, nor were their sins actually vanquished by the artifacts and priests, those that killed and tortured homosexuals, zealot and frantic. It was the kings who wrote in the Bible not to love a man, not Jesus. God acknowledges almost every animal species have gay thoughts and urges. Funny how it doesn't produce any children through. 2 gay men want to share their genes. End my misery here, said a faint soul and body, and take my amulets of gold. I seek it no longer. Another said similarly, I earned maximum dollars slowly poisoning my city, my people. I looked the other way, and thus the blood money I cannot spend. You will spend it better. I think Janus, god of wealth and greed, will trick us. Don't accept any offerings of gold. They came to a boiling gold pit with paths of gold like in a garden, a field of cultivating money trees. Here are those who cannot resist shining gold even in hell, who are nothing without capital and power. They will be lost and fall in again. James breathed frost over the gold pit and cut himself some gold ingots. Here's treasure 101. Anyone want an ingot? James, this is cursed capitalist flowing gold. It cannot be worked. Like mercury gold, it will zip into your brain and hurt you like eternal sin absolution. It will appear as your greatest sin. The hellspawn fight with golden weapons here, said priestess. Benefits of working on this plane, they also get insurances by the accountants. They saw a red goblin man pour molten gold into the throat of a man, torturing him. He fell on the ground sideways and sounded like an ingot, immovable. Poor soul, Seth priestess. She was a priest used to combat, shooing away desecrating Ihinjar delinquents and gargoyles, protecting religious resolution and chalices by forgetful priest men. She was dressed warm in white, necklaces of religious protection, staff with blue gem and wings. This was one of the greediest religious French men. He absolved sins based on their income, worked to make the Church of France rich, materialistic. For years the church grew in power and riches like privilege. He has led a rich life, not a religious one. The goblinman with hooves spoke evil but true enough. He played powerful like a politician and made laws unreligious. His power grew for power. The poorest simple man can have the most righteous soul. Spartacus went to try and comfort the soul, but he didn't move. They had to cross a swamp that was mostly black and boiling. Boiling arms reached and grabbed them with the force of obsession. Some skeletal and black skeletons. In the middle of the swamp was rocks with veins of flowing gold poured 15 meters high. Gold flowing like blood, I shall return, James. Here the greedy and powerful sit at the top, but with the sinners at the bottom, said Arnaud. It's still the same. Hell shouldn't be corrupted. It is the most solid in torturing conservatism. A extra hairy smaller minotaur and rhino-faced 3M muscle monster pondered the swamp, golden armor, pristine jagged sword, and spiked mace upsetting. They didn't seem like they minded protecting in routine, the sentinel being one with its duty. James swished with speed technique, dodged every slow attack, pushed him back in a swing with palm absolute unit, parried 4 blows in a combo, and then cut the minotaur from kidney to shoulder. The bull sounded like a demon and went down evil and maybe a hint of privilege. Arnaud was powering up for a one-shot. Brick density, denser than Canna West. He smashed through the rhino with his brick. A rupture of power was like metallic errors and one rupture delayed. He might as well gotten hit by a bus. This is full gold armor, thanks Circle of Greed. Let's keep this, James. At the end of the swamp, the ground flickered red. The dead and boiling came up the swamp. Agonizing and slow, they obeyed attack. Security Chief Essam, not necessarily streamer, has been alerted of your presence. A hooved human goat with pitchfork, miner's beard, skinny but large belly and curve, horned 3 laps, stood and worried with an extra large underbite. You really think you can attack hell? There are standards here. Bylaws, you have cut me in for the share at least. He spoke with a lightweight nerd voice sounding foreign. How much? Said James. Minus 40% to betray Satan. I'm on his good side. Beguiling and awful. No way, said James. A red gem on his pitchfork emanated red mist as the dead flew like projectiles onto James. Corpse explosion. The bodies exploded, splattering blood and liver, kidneys. James had protected himself in elemental spirit, the blood shaman. At least it wasn't horse explosion, said Arnaud. James slashed and executed strikes wise, but the pitchfork could have been made of diamond. James did Stylo's arcane martial arts, kicks, deadly chops, combos, and thundering knees, breaking his stupid defense intelligently like he was weak. Essam stabbed with strength deserved for hell and nightmares. James made a 5-inch punch to knock him out, but Essam got up, clasping his head sturdy and confused. James cut him 8 times in a white mist, an everlasting rays from slicing gleaming tornado. Steroid hurricane. Essam got critically hit and his eyes whitened finally. He fell to the floor painted in blood. Yensid froze the swamp ledges masterfully and farted an ice spear into coming green undead. Okay, that's it, let's go. A pitchfork was thrown into the back of James. It hurt like a gym machine breaking. The security of Essam doesn't give up that easily. Second wind bloodied Essam conjured another pitchfork with black magic, and two beside him attacking next to him. Brilliantly, Essam deflected a Colossus hit from James, then another to the left. Essam tanked the hits like he was a superhuman. They clashed like giants until James went. The difference is too big, goodbye, go down giant, sheer anger of the gods. James crushed his insides with an implosion punch and broke his armor like church glass. His eyes whitened and he went to his knees, then fell face first. Another golden minotaur awaited them entering the gates to another section. Guards! Rear-driving BMW parking, asphyxiate. Yensid started flying around in the air ass first like he was pulled by a rope, then hit the minotaur in the face with his ass robes. The minotaur hit by a dim assmack, parking so bad he instantly died. We have a wizard amongst us, said the hero. Praise be the heavens, said Elf Priestess. They had to climb sides of red mountains and slide down rugged mountain foot. They met many monsters with expensive weapons. They actually found diamond rings, improving regeneration and sunburn. James had room on his hand thus. They crossed black hellscape with black plants and red yellow fruits spouting lava. There was a 1 decimeter black bird with a round face that was completely round. They had to cross a volcano, climbing about up to halfway sideways. They had the fields of the infinite grills, heating up hell to sufficient or extra temperatures. They laid in brackets, laid in grids, laid in municipality. There were toiling wildebeest-headed sulky hunchbacks carrying the tools over their shoulders. This place wasn't fire red, but cooled rock. It was black and steamy, porous paint and black wind. They would carry on until they entered the molten lower levels. The pace was arduous. They could have stared into the center of death. Right, more fields gathering energy from souls agonizing and the spirit and will of a civilization. Their direction, like in politics. Chapter, Silence of the Baguettes. Enter circle of lust and accounting. The door had perfect male buttocks you had to open with, real square gym buttocks wide like wide shoulders. Accounting, said Arnaud. Priestess, accounting is a precise work. They think no one is watching over the boring numbers, but if you get any wrong, you go punished to hell. Here the sarcasm about the work fills the halls. Meticulous swarming noise, certainty of insanity. A tall, thick goth chick with a large purple wizard's hat and suspicious gigantic breasts came soft-spoken to the party. Hey guys, I am living too. I got lost with my party, can you help me? Yeah, sure, we're big huggers in this party, you're welcome. Arnaud. Oh, how cute, she hugged Arnaud and kissed him on the cheek. I see through her lies, James thought. They came onto a door with a stone face. To go further in hell, one has to be sacrificed, the weakest link, the cowardly, the lightweight, the extra weight. In the middle stood a 1x2 diameter deep coffee grinder hole with handcrafted black wooden handle. It's basically just a mixer. Drink the weakest link, it's a bloody tradition. We're gonna talk about this right, said Arnaud. James took the goth chick, walked confidently, and threw her head first into the grinder like the lightest javelin. The mixer spun quick, making Italian and high-speed sounds. Sometimes that's how life goes. It's obvious she's a mirage of the circle of lust, said James. Otherwise, she would not be interested in us. The grinder seemed to hit bone and made some crunching noises, struggling, speeding up to max afterwards. James, I don't think she was a mirage. Priestess. Oh well, what's another sacrifice, said Arnaud. Her black high heels flew and hit Arnaud in the face, knocking him to the floor. The group carried on more casually. A real goth wouldn't mind getting turned into coffee. The grinder raised a bit above the ground and tried adding milk and cream. Damn, said the hole in the wall, we're out of milk again. Some of the party, including James, drank the goth cappuccino to restore vitality. It tasted like sugary depression. Stoneface said, here we see the chamber of cheating, one of the most common regrets, they say. Cheating done for no reason, with handsome celebrities for money or revenge, for those that waited a short time or forever. Here's one of Satan hell favorites. Those that proclaim to love their wife, then plow their goat crossed outside. They ought to try a succubus.
She's a mirage. It's fine, Chad.
Scottish, oh there you are, horned sweet lassie. When looking at women, men can consider almost anyone, so it's completely up to the thinking part of the brain to stop you. Your first foe is the hamster of harbingers. Not the hamster of harbingers. It is one of the 7 excellent grade hamsters, the jugular hamster, the hellspawn, said the purple elf. A cute white XXL chubby hamster, red eyes, with a fluffy fat mane stood small and innocent around the entry. There was a layer of skulls around the hamster. What are we waiting for? Said the hero and approached cleverly, ready to give his best endeavor. Whoosh, the hamster flew through the air, biting 100 times under his shirt. The hero screamed and panicked, trying to punch himself in the gut. Help! The hamster could not be hit while under the shirt.
Nah, it's fine.
I'm going to blow you up with your infinite cheeks. The hamster bit him in the skull. He looked stupid until the hamster blew air such his head exploded. Violent and piercing, the explosion was for your ears, like a blood bucket being thrown against the wall or lasagna. The daggered elf came blazing secondly, reflecting magically with expert elf defensive magic and putting up impact shields, a comfortable magical cocoon visible at their most strongest part. With maddening steel sound, the hamster was deflected. Someone might as well have thrown a flash grenade. The glaives vibrated and the elf was getting scared. I'm not afraid of you. The hamster started a red face of doom black magic and powerfully crushed the elf glaive. The elf wasn't stronger.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, AAHHH, I am SO, scared
please.
STARTS, crying
It's not
IT's
even
the end
released
of
yet.
everything. Like a gunshot, the hamster shot through the shields, and without anyone having time to
what did they
react,
say?
decapitated
God damn.
the elf with hamster power. It's a killer hamster. A devoid man killer. Power word, vacuum cleaner. Yensid created a suction, and the hamster flew 4M struggling into Yensid's butthole. He resisted in almost a human way. They came upon the plains of harking grief and pointless suffering where there were many prisoners. Priestess, here lies a cheater known in the history books. She kept cheating voracious for years, undermining his husband's trust. When he found out, she divorced
This is
him
not
and
based
took
on
his money
anything.
he had worked on all his life as a millionaire. He tried suiciding, but it didn't work. He is handicapped and a monster thus. Help me, I'm innocent here. I shall see your judgment fit, said the priestess, and imprinted her shoe size in her face slowly, resting on her staff. Her body seemed weak and dissolving a bit. Help us, James heard a voice through the wall surprisingly with his sharp, unaltered hearing. He punches thus like there never has been any steroids. 5 armored giant battle rabbits unsealed thus, about 6 meters long, 3 meters tall like the polar. We're raiding hell, come out. I'm Bloodmonger the Unclean. Bloody Mary. Undying Cheste Gregor the Terribly Immortal. Unreal Engine Battleman Knee Injury Undertow Jr. Brick Hellforge Enrique. There were also alive prisoners and many beasts. They kept smashing through Hellclay, finding Curiosa, contraptions, and citrine. Eben sealed away here and forgotten, lost, too dangerous for hell and earth. You won't regret releasing me from this beastly campaign. How can I assist thee? It was a black belt-robed kung fu man with goatee and twirly mustaches. James wondered just how many things were deep and hidden in hell. He went behind the prisoners undistracted and put his spiritual hand on the wall. He felt something behind the usual rooms, faint in life but clear in wanting to be rescued, like someone's last day's heartbeats and glorious ending. James punched twice, thrice, through and again, rumbling and excellent devastation. There was a room of a shackled angel, wings bound and black magic manifest. James dispelled and unshackled, thus healed. I have waited here my whole life. I was never supposed to be found beyond the Hellclay and plains. Those were the odds. I have been here for 1,000 years, tight, coarse, and hungry. Ripe for revenge, justice. I have thought of things blazingly, constantly. I have thought of so many things. If I deserved to be found, I would be. The angel flexed his wings. Yet now it will become Satan's fall, Archangel Jophiel. He whoosed speedy wings up out the tomb like at constant speed. The orcs weren't always stupid. You red orcs are going to fight Satan, right? You better shut your mouth or we will fight you. We're getting out of here. I'm not so stupid. I regret everything I've done. Deprivation favors the bold. I'm not going to risk dying for Satan, laughed an even redder orc honestly. I used to believe in sacrifice, he said sadly. An even redder orc said, I could fight hell, but I'd rather find my wife. The prisoners were here, don't you see, said James. Then she isn't here, but she is alive. I can feel it. Feels like a relationship loving, love understood perfectly. Unto Castle Black. This is going to be a huge siege. Arnaud. Armies of the presumptuous and postponing, said the hero. The reserve duty
I don't think I meant Castle Black to be anything like the Games in Thrones one, and it's not inspired by that, but it's safer to change it anyway. People are just gonna... how do I explain it? Androgynous, humongous, impossible. Castle enchiladas. Castle... Let me think about it. Indomitable. I'll change this. This will be better maybe. Middle way. Does it sound that good? Castle Middle Hell.
legion, the imps, the ranged. They cast the teleports, ushering in men and artillery. There was a castle with drawbridge wide in sections and a little bit of triple wall sealing the only entrance into the next section. It had 38 towers on towers growing bigger in the middle like a castle infestation, black light gleaming, 150 meters high eventually. They had to get through it. Armies exited the grand drawbridge as the remaining party unleashed portals ushering in their siege. Siege onagers with fiery brimstone, black dwarf, black trebuchet, and ballistas. Even raider cavalry. Unlike in movies, we can pretend the cavalry to be as many as we like. Elven dragon cannon siege. It looks like a dragon's mouths, 3 Chinese flying crows. The ramp unleashed black putter bombs with crow wings. The ramp angle determined the range. And 2 dwarf culverins, anti-artillery, outranges, resists artillery. The enemy had false goatmen, hellorcs, hellbears, some brown orcs, mercenaries, hell polearm cows, goblins, and cruel giant dead white-colored beasts of variety. Catapults made from skeletons spread poison over the walls, with giant flaming arrows being fired and devastating hell bombards. The bombards needed to be destroyed. A orc said when army is at the gates. Wow, that escalated quickly. Start. A hell ballista shot at the raiding party, knocking people over despite their defenses, revealed a culverin shot in the middle of their contraption, dismantling it, collapsing it like an armchair. Giant double-glaved in their flesh, beasts lead the charge, savaging thus the ground as elves flipped. They flailed and ravaged. It took Arnaud buttoning up his black suit and sitting on top, stabbing with his double eternal baguette a long time before it went down tanky. The baguette assault cannot be ignored. The cavalry from the raiders swept in the goblins. They had pikes, but they were frozen and shattered, pikes and shields. Like a bulldozer with rocket back, they decimated. The residue was reaching green arms. A black dwarf took out archers standing with fiery catapult shots. They didn't think quick enough. Thus Flying Crow pierced reinforcing archer into the air and exploded into blood confetti. Let out of the drawbridge so we can fit to fight, said an orange orc. Write more here. The catapult got fireballed by a kingly dressed skeleton. It collapsed like a souffle. He was opulent, broad and square, crowned greedily, punishingly. Looked like he just died. I am the king of serenity, indomitable fortress and swamps infinite. I just died. James pelted enemies with throwing weapons like a barbarian, protecting the siege. They came like waves. Too bad there isn't a spell James knew for 360 vision. Eventually, James had to give this flank of siege as the goatmen swarmed impossibly. The hell orcs were bigger and wider, with huge, partly ornamental shoulder armor going like black branches, thicker plates taller than heads and muscular like a dream. They had a punishing technique that would burn and swell, weaken your exteriors like mines glowing. Hell nightmares with a fiery cauldron for belly shot faceless bats as ranged weapons.
Here's something you could do for your hand. Does vinegar reduce blood sugar per meal by 50%? Its AI is wrong actually. terrible. It turns out 2 tablespoons of vinegar can reduce the blood sugar spike. Was not found by vinegar company. Very cheap access, toxicity, very medication. Fast image job at 16 points per 1 week. Table, vinegar, twice a day. Well, it's better than lean drugs like glufosinate and Avinda. And it showed in a video with the stats, 50%. Yeah.
Lasted suffering spells and leached mana and health from the mages and ammunition from
I don't
archers,
leave home without
unbuttoned
it.
your shirt and
Except
dropped your
I
pants.
do, but
Winged nightmares could demoralize enemies like looking into a nightmare, made worse by a spirit fighting technique. They could manually increase it to seize anyone up like a brain error. A skinny demon with a
just
mouth like a
mash it up
piranha
with a
decimated
spoon.
the raiders. He got the attention from the cavalry, which mercilessly stabbed him with spears and Naginata's 1 cavalry at a time.
Whew.
The demon trapped them, getting
Oh,
more
that's
injured he
tasty.
could blow air into his extra bones. Everyone around was decimated as the demons spew a
Better
circle of thick
choose
bone
red wine
nails.
vinegar.
The piranha demons were a problem for every horse. Their physical absorption and trap caught masses. That charging demon Hell Pawn taunts you with its flails, but if you can't beat it, you're not strong. He will show you how unfair and demonic hell can be, the ultimate test of strength of character when you're out of time, air. Pit spawns of vorpal swords, stranger promises, burning, and with concentrated lava flow were creating an offense. Don't touch the pit spawn's vorpal swords, it cannot be defended against. They had giant imps that could take massive leaps, without patience, and would usually be struck back as hard. Evil evolution isn't safe from stupidity. Hammer fiends enter. They were 6-meter dead black and white 4-armed thus that turned into clubs instead of hands. They spun around and knocked people into the ground, formidable ever stuck. They had winged graythelms and gritty dead white muscle, eyeless and with a black bird cage stuck in their head flesh. There shoot the hammer, said James with this sword to a black dwarf. The first ballista shot was blocked, but the second went through its heart. Soon it was going down like a giant glorious. Glorious to be alive, alive like a cosmic heart. Yensid with legendary beard was putting everything on fire. With Armageddon going down and a hurricane of fire around him, they died, melted, perished. The hammer fiend smashed through and knocked back randomly. It was ridiculous to fight like someone with 36 swords. The freed angel made work on the bigger enemies, knocking with his 2 holy maces. He hit like he known impact magic and with a god's strength. Weapons missed his holy aura and time seems to move differently, protecting. James thought the armies of hell were formidable. Lots of swords were parried as James fought skirmish. His golem arm and huge shoulder plate blocked, knocked people out and outranged weapons. Time for the dual wield again, katana and espolarm, just like in his first tournament where he was a wee bodybuilder. Satan was puppeteering the spirit of a death knight, hovering without legs, slashing with 2 swords black as a dream. No one could fight, its slashing was savage, no one could damage it, it was a spirit from hell. Satan laughed with the puppet, he was playing on people's feelings by killing them. Heat up the grills, we have new people coming to hell hither. James went up and parried the puppet, soon it was ferocious like a nightmare doll onto him. They parried right and left thus busy. There is no cutting a spirit, said a dead mouth. James put his thumb on the katana holster. Unholy strike, nemesis unsheath speed technique. Everyone close stopped and looked shocked at the mention of the unholy strike. The puppet and its katanas were cut. He fell folded like paper and then burnt into small white pearls. Making a dent into James' stamina, he didn't use it twice, not on the hammer fiends plural. Wait guys, let me just put the katana back into the holster again. The surrounding enemies ran away. James and Arnaud jumped high onto the walls filled with goblin archers and swept clean, jumping into enemies behind the lines he whirlwind and savaged. There was no brute reinforcement coming to this section. They They had daggers and the arbalist was deadly point blank. There's the chains to the drawbridge. He cut them, and the gate mechanism, he broke it so the gate would remain open. Yensid had managed to sneak behind enemy lines, pretending to be an albatross salesman. What flavor? There's no bloody flavor in it, he said to a goblin as he carried on.
What's the flavor?
He carefully put his cheeks to a tower bent over, also filled with strategic enemies,
There's no bloody
and
flavor.
said,
There's a Monty
Fart
Python
reverb,
reference.
first
A
factory of baked
very
beans.
funny
The
one.
flatulence grew and shrunk, exploding and imploding, taking larger pieces of the tower with it, each gray growth. The tower fell slowly. They are winning the ground battle. Close the gate. It's bloody
kings
stuck.
And queens of humor.
Watch your knickers, and orcs smashed the foundation,
You
making a
gotta-
rubble gate. There was plenty of castle.
How much Monty Python have you watched? You gotta watch some more sketches on YouTube. The 5 movies, the compilation about the Flying Circus series on Netflix is the worst one, but
Just
pretty
then, the
funny
tower to
sometimes.
the right went down. Barge and gentlemen,
I guess the movie Greatest Hits is just a compilation of the best jokes and in HD from the 70s or 80s from the. I don't feel like showing off a sketch right now, to be honest. If we maybe later.
Raider moved the siege. More bloody confetti explosion. The flying crows were devastating explosives aimed at the walls, and behind there was no counter.
Yeah, we can watch the Silly Olympics or the twat upper class twit of the year competition. It's so funny. Me pissed my pants the first time. And it seemed like I was a little bit cursed afterwards. I felt like, this doesn't feel so good, I feel it should be funnier,
Counter.
Not
They
allowed
had to count the
be-
casualties and jump from the center. There are such things as perfect weapons in combat. A succubus and a leather
Well,
female
I was
raider were
like
fighting,
12.
kicking obscenely. They both got high heels in their eyes. Same time too. 3
I've never shit my pants.
humongous hammer fiends exited a corridor that felt like fighting cheating again. Yensid clenched his butt muscles again and again, until inhumane power was stored after 3 minutes. His ass entered a holy state, and a humming noise was heard, piercing, similar to transcendence. He still had the hamster as ammunition. He wasn't going to keep it. The movie effects would be slow motion and black and white as Yensid shot the hamster out of his ass like a railgun and critically pierced the 3 hammer fiends, going diagonally through the sides of their bodies. They fell slowly, giantly, arm above and back first and one forwards. The hamster being shot as a bean bag was finished. He was conscious, but only to deny any movement. There was so much power being exerted. It was like the shot of man claiming favors of the gods. Eventually, all the enemy artillery was destroyed, with the golden white culverins outranging, slowing, decimating. The volley was like Robin Hood archery. The cannonballs were small and mass of circular gravity. The raiders cheered, ready to steal. The raiders had Natalie Selenium, which liked to just run around and tase people in the neck, a dwarven taser tech. Yensid had decimated White Dead Hammerfiend and was cleansing blood from his face with his fist. Such there was a general, super armored with a 2M katana. How are you going to fight yourself out of this, old man? This is where you fail, he growled like in a brutaler song. Yensid had legendary cunning in his eye like a grander wizard. You are not ready for this level of truth, as time-traveling expertise. Yensid pulled his sword out of his ass. I have already cut you, Yensid
The
said.
general sword.
The general fell down face first. There were swarms of enemies coming of every kind. Yensid was going to have to create a break for his team. Propane form, constipated symphony. He turned into gas and choked everyone into ragdolls. They choked on their strength. Arnaud drank a potion of ridiculous sports. The French would do better, and his baguette formed into a longer signed baseball bat shape * gluten gang. With speed and godly power, thus he went from enemy to enemy, knocking them out and far away in home runs. The smack and distance was something to cheer, be felt as a sports fan. From above you could see enemies being knocked away, but you could maybe not source it to Arnaud. Unlimited propane, break my foot off in your ass technique. Break. When facing bigger enemies, he hit them in the knees. He came upon the baddest hammerfiend. Arnaud spit and readjusted his groin, then smashed his kneecap like a French wineglass. Then the fiend got hit in the eye by a ballista. Arnaud smashed the fiend's skull like he was aiming to win a series with steroids, but it still got up tough and dumb and started spinning. James powered up his fire fingers for plasma, and Undead figured out what he was doing and proclaimed, "Fire resistance, expert fire immunity." James threw one of his bombs, removing 40%, and whatever afro hair the Undead still had. Penance, shield of deepest hell, the fiend glue yellow-white and sounded like an expensive computer program. Arnaud said, "If you don't stop making fire shields sunny, I'm going to unscrew your skull, shit down your neck, and invisible break my foot off in your ass." "Damn it, all right, that's it," James said, echoing, got the weird feeling channeled. It felt kind of like being electrocuted. Red-white quark glue on plasma lightning spew from his fingertips with the sound of a surge, metallic and completely put through. The Hellspawn were shocked and realized they might lose as the Hammer Fiend was lit on fire and melted quick like butter. Melted bit for bit where James aimed. Heaven and hell was jealous of such temperature. Yensid wanted to show off his ultimate moves too and sent his ass into gear second. It would short his life and felt like sacrifice you should not cross. An everlasting warning by your body. Ass of unlimited power, nervous waltz. People had to cover their eyes as the last Hammer Fiend melted from the Tier 13 Slacer and cried, screamed, melting into the ground like lava. Evil wasn't ready for this. James was surprised modern sci-fi wasn't inspired by this. It was 8 meters wide. In the end, it was one arm, hand reaching for help, melting thus. It was not flatulence made for mortal eyes. It was just one vowel piercing 3 times. You could look, but it does not mean you would understand. "Wow, that was fart displacement," said James. "Retreat deeper into the castle. We're breached. More lesser,
Oh
more
shit.
redder orc." As an
Well,
emergency gate
let's
dropped
just
from above, the
click on this button
castle
2
was
times so we go
reinforced by
back.
spells and visible wizard
Fucking
shields.
god, they think they're so
They
cute.
regrouped and could not go any further. "Use the
Look at
siege,"
me.
bellowed a raider,
I'm
legendary.
dolphin.
The raiders twirled and meticulously moved to their anguish. Slowing, the siege would speed up.
Remember that
They
movie?
pulled the
Finding
trebuchet like a
Nemo?
tank,
Yeah.
immovable like a mortar. 2 trebuchet loaded with magical
That's
ammunition
too
60
silly,
seconds
stop it.
later swung giant.
Be
Slowly it
serious.
traveled in the air, hungry until it smashed through. Above the gate, then exploded everything in blue nitroglycerin.
Oh hey.
Revealed, Satan has summoned another spirit. Satan used the power of Baron Samedi. Sooty and black, he had a terrible couch-looking suit and top hat with a snake. He sat upon a giant coffin with member of silver souls. "Don't go into the soul coffin, you will die and never be reincarnated." Raider. Come into my coffin." Samedi created an incredible 360-degree suction, drawing everyone off their feet and towards. Closest was Demolition Man Black Mark. "No, Mark, I won't let you go," said a half-blind assassin from the high heels. She threw herself in and melted into soul smoke and became one with the silver souls. "AHHA, let me crank and restart my coffin of endless circus." James came threatening, running, ready to strike Nemesis proud. Samedi cut him with whirlwind fate spikes designed to nail your soul to the floor. It was expected to stop him, but James powered through the pain hero-like. "Enjoy the view," said Satan, laughing as the spirit went up in smoke, turned into pollution. Yensid had found a 9 meters wide and 9 meters tall huge storage where they had every siege and artillery. There was ammunition and there was blackputter cannonballs. On the other side, goblins were rolling out. They had their goblin siege and it would pebble with piercing. Deadly following, persecution, gassy fat-bottomed ant. Yensid puts gas-like in...
You know, the point is that I try to... What? I can have a pet bunny? It's, you know, the rulers aren't, so... Yeah, I don't have to dip my head in propane or anything if I get 51 bank slots. So as I remove it as soon as I see it. Ah, this is pretty cool. Agility. There's a war bunny? Ah. Ah, they're not awesome enough.
Into the storage. From his hands, streams of murk, dark purpose.
What a cute
He
white
turned
rabbit to
around,
follow
thus
me.
farts fiery. The whole building exploded, connected, went up in the sky like New Year's Eve. Sounded like an ammunition's cache, indeed. You need another user of the Nemesis Unholy Unsheath, said a powerful sounding voice, wise and legendary. There chained all four limbs in different positions on a spinning black stone wheel nailed was God Nemesis. She had a reflection like a stainless steel lamplight for an office desk. Revealed in siege, she had one soul burning from candles, one soul tickled by feather, sword and dagger impaled hanging and cut 1,000 times, some wounds a decimeter long. There was no blood anymore. For justice, I am God Nemesis, release me and I will conquer thus. To release me you will be judged. Take your bow.
Oh, sorry, did I show too much of the book? I didn't mean to do that. Should we stop now? You tell me. I was just grinding mode. It was something, so... You tell me in chat, or... Could listen to another book right now. Yeah, it is late at night, and I'm chilling. Yum 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 yum. That I would do anything. Yeah, you. Well, if it's one person thinking, alright, that's enough, you know. And we don't have to really keep going. Yeah, so it's different for me, right? Well, it's fun to play some shit. Let's play some chess. What? I can't type more nice things? Oh, right. I'm white. I don't think I'm black opening though. Which is this one. Which I can pre-move too, really. I'm gonna do the reverse. Oh, I still feel like doing it actually. What do you know? Pre-move that shit. This never goes bad. It's not possible. Not even as black. Now I'm gonna put that one here. Oh, I'm so smart. So this is the runescape music. because I'm streaming to YouTube. Can't have normal music. We're not playing classical music though. That sounds like what? You're gonna do that? Blah! I have an advantage because I'm not castling, but I'll probably do it. And you're not gonna like this. I'm gonna sacrifice my horse here if I have to. Bruh. It's a pretty solid, I mean, I'm pretty professional here, not place that there. This is a wrong move, I think. Nah, it's fine. This is pretty good though. I want to get rid of that, but I'm just gonna have to give it up, you know? Well, this gives me quick results, I'm gonna do this. I have to think a little bit. What is better here? This is better. Alright, I thought about it. Ooh, look at this play. This is a genius play. And I'm covered by the queen actually, so it's not gonna put it there, you know. You definitely wanna avoid the forks. If you play chess, you're gonna get forked by the horse like this. And then you're gonna go like, oh, I like that. Well, you know why I'm doing this? I'm gonna trade evenly, he thinks. Come on, take it. Oh yeah, I guess he can do that, but I still come out on top, as you can see. I don't talk too much, I'm just talking. It's fine to do if you talk a lot, playing chess. Yeah, I'm never like trying to insult my opponent or talk shit. Nobody can talk shit like that. But I don't know why I did that. If you don't mind me saying, you know, I don't. If you think you're not realizing it's just me, you should be able to realize it's just me talking though. A lot of people don't do that. It's because they are. I should definitely. This is an offensive piece I should back up, you know? He can't trade with his towers here in this position. But I think he's going to. But so I didn't offend anyone. I was just casually talking on. But Sometimes I don't talk a lot though, it just seems to surprise people, you know, he's just sitting silently there and, you know. This might be something to do about my king. I don't see that, I don't see why he did that. Hopefully I won't be punished now. Damn, I'm playing good right now. Please don't do anything that I can't defend, do anything against at all. Like a fork. You know, if this is a fork, he has to choose. Oh yeah, this is a fork, you know, he has to move this and make it the tower, right? Disgusting. I can't check him again. He said, ah! I tried evenly here, right? No, I don't actually. Fuck. I'm gonna get a free pawn here. Cheeky play, isn't it? I can do it again, actually. Ah! No! Oh, that's so bad. I can't move this. Yeah, I can't. I lost the game there, it's crazy. I didn't see it, man. GG, I lost the game there. Excellent play by my opponent. I don't think he's gonna play any better than that entire game, actually. Counting one move, you know. Really? That was so stupid. I think I have to do something stupid myself. Oh no, I made another good move there. I can threaten that with... Well, I want to move out my horse, so I'm gonna do that. What are you doing? You have to trade your queen. If I leave it there, it's bad for me, so I should try evenly, it's not evenly. Yeah. Oops, he blundered his queen. And even I blundered my queen on turn 5. It's a good comment, I haven't done that, but... I'm gonna skewer him now, like... it's a lot of setup. But I'll do it. I think it's not gonna work actually unless he moves that. This is a black play. Or you could say garage. Yeah. He doesn't see the play. This song is so fucking beautiful. Plus 14. That's not an impressive play actually, I just realized that now. It seemed more impressive, but it was fun. I pre-moved it though. Yeah. Gonna have to move that back, buddy. Perfect. I have to move those back now. Yeah. Oh, GG, well played this guy. Oh. Oh, that fart affected my balance. This is how it's supposed to be. I win now. I line these and I win. Lining has never been this good. It's that good. Actually, it's not that good. Nobody doesn't realize that. And yet I have to trade. Oh my god. Phew, that was close. Oh well, I just do this. Ah! Whoops. No, that's not what I meant. Damn it! You wanna take back. Misclick. Sacrifices. Still a very good play. I think I should go for that, actually. It's a heads-up play I just made. It's just textbook stuff, but it's the kind of textbook that's gonna win me the game. It sacrificed the queen here for content. Yeah, that's actually correct. Extremely correct sacrifice. I win, he can't contest this. Playing it safe doing this. I win if I do that, yeah. Bathroom time. I thought of a funny joke. This thing going blech, blech. What kind of hamster? That's a crocodile hamster. A crocodile with a hamster head. You play well, it was 4 AM. His brain decided to take a 5-minute break. A 1-minute break sounds funny, right? I should put that in my book for some reason. Yeah, it's this. He was making this song. This is the music that plays in my head when I'm taking a shit. It's also a picture of the Queen of England. I don't like your horse. It is smelly. Your horse moves diagonally. The horse is retarded. It moves wrong in chest. It's smelly. I can say that joke because I have Asperger's autism. I'm starting to fan that. Oh no, the horse is retarded. That's a very conservative play because he's not smarter than me. That's actually it. If I do that play, it's smart. It's not that slow, for example. I kind of wanna. Can I skewer him? Yes, I can. It's the worst skewer ever though. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. I was gonna place my queen here and this here, you know? It's an interesting play. This kind of prevents him from... he's gonna counter it actually. So you can put that here, so you put that there. See, if I put that here and then put that here, it's smart, right? Yeah, you get it. It's because I can... Yeah, I was gonna counter it. It creates a delay, but the outcome is still inevitable, so it's actually not that, you know? You know? And this is why it's not inevitable. Punished for 2 rounds. He just moved that. I just moved that here, he says, you know. There's only one play. Put it here. Yeah, you should do that. It's a good play. It would be be nice with a skewer here. No, I'm gonna go for the skewer actually. It's pre-moved. It's like ah! Yeah, this is oh. Oh my god! You know. Put that here, I can put it there, and that doesn't do anything. Wow. Amazing play. I found the play. If I move that there, it's pretty good actually. It's like checkmate. It's pretty fine, that was checkmate. It was a vibe check. Oh god, that sounds stupid actually. After I said it. You know? Hey, listen, chat. Oh my god, it's a checkmate! No, it's not. Should I wait a little bit? It's a checkmate in 2. He doesn't see it. Why would you ever see that? Don't ruin it. Hold your baguette like this, chat. You go like... Actually, it's correct to sacrifice. He thinks he's gonna go for fork here, but I get checkmate, right? No, because he can move over there. Shit! So close to checkmate. All right, this is the very I see what you're doing move. And it's actually, if I move my horse now, it's gonna be real good. Actually, this I can't place it here yet. Actually, what the fuck did he do? What? I'm gonna move that back actually. Yeah, because when I move that, I can put that there. That was a blech move, honestly. Yeah, you're moving your paws. The best possible move he can do for me. Blech. Remember, this might, I feel this might I can do where is that even supposed to go, man? Here comes the... Yeah, he probably saw it by now. I'm playing like a pro here actually. This kind of pressure that ignores his other pieces. It's really pro. Look at this. Put you in the reverse baguette. This is I realized what I was gonna say anyway. Well, I was gonna say that, remember, this is because sometimes autistic people do absolutely anything of normal people can, and Asperger's, part of our form of autism, does not affect intelligence. Everything I said is still true, and I don't be stereotypical. I'm gonna think about this one. Well, this is just a value trade, honestly. my god, that's a bad play. Holy shit. I mean, nah, it was an opportunistic play. It was plus 14 again. I also feel like nobody cares. Okay, I barely mention it. I'm just saying numbers, saying stuff. Yeah, don't be upset, don't be offended if I say that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna defend autistic people, right? Always do. This is a pretty stupid play, I think. That just sounded funny. This is stable. I should move pieces forward. It's literally stable. Interesting play. I don't think it's bad for me or anything. Once I place this here, he loses. Yeah, that fucking calculator of perfect possible moves just rows, you know? That they have in chess tournaments. It's like accuracy, they call it, right? Yeah. Well, back that he got upset. Oh, I didn't make that play, you know? He's like that. Sometimes absolutely anybody can feel like that, you know? I'm gonna skew where, oh my gosh, we're running out of time for some reason. Don't lose some time, lol. What? I'm gonna fork his. Ah, there it is. Give me a tower. Alright, I thought of another play. Oh no, I'm thinking too much. Oh shit, I forgot about the timer. It's 4 AM. Whew. That's enough cooking. This is not fishing now. How about that? I want to get short. I just want to get 200 healing, 2000 healing food, you know? The quickest method. fun. Let's do this shit again. Pre-move. Save some time. Why don't I do this? This kind of makes sense. I'm messing up his. He's just super. He's completely ignored my start, but this is supposedly better anyway. It's a professional opening versus. Oh my god, it's the most standard player I've ever met so far. Oh well, this is how people play. It's good for people who have. Whoops. Okay, next time we do. I forgot what the strength was of doing this also. You know. Well, let's see. This guy. I don't want to play into his stuff or anything. What do I do now? Maybe open up for my tower? Yeah, I see, it makes a lot of sense. This is where's the music? Whoops. That was a tired move. Well, I got my horse out. And I can turn into an offensive horse. You slut, he says to the enemy. I bet you're. You're mine. Wow, it's an amazing play. You look at this shot. Oh, come on, I wanted to... I still want to play into his board and stuff. It's kind of blech, you know? Yeah, he still has like 3 positions to play that game, so I'm not gonna play the normal opening. So great things like your horse is managed to type that in chat, that gets him every time, shows you who's the boss. Who has the larger... I don't wanna trade or anything. Bro. Yeah, I'm just gonna recapture this. I was thinking about which pawn. It's pretty try hard, really. I don't care enough. I'm not in the desert, this sounds wrong. Feels like that offended someone. What? They didn't sound good. It's not like ear rape flute, you know? The feeling you get. Oh well, I don't have to do stuff like, say stuff like trying to do that, interpret that, yeah. Oh, he's just gonna blow a hole in his shit in his hat. A hole in his hat and shit in it. And then he eats the hat. He's just gonna salt and pepper his hat. Can you see the play? Yeah, this protects this shit actually. I don't ever do this even if I don't have this pawn here. It opens up with this, like most drunk play. Drunk chess. I should type drunk chess to him, yeah, I get banned. I should tell him I was playing drunk cops, I beat him. What do you still care about the music? You want me to listen to Sphinx? Might be over here. No, his horse gets it. Yeah. Do that there though, and I'm basically playing the King's Indian. In case that's the right one, you know. You just blundered your queen. The blood is going to turn 20. Okay, that's not that bad. You think I'll blunder my queen for your queen? The more horses, the closer to each other, the more likely you are to blunder. You think I will sacrifice my queen for content? I'll definitely don't let I'm ready at 1. Bruh, oh my, I'll sir, what? What? I have a sick idea in mind that you're gonna be like, ugh. Think about this car and think about it. Is it stable? God, I love this game, beautiful music. Oh, look at this display chat. Disgusting. I got a pawn doing this. Disgusting, and I type it. Can I type that? Honestly, I feel it's like a... That's a terrible play. I'm sorry if I said that. Because look at this play. He moves the horse. How do I even lose a single game, chat? Ah, whatever, I didn't say that. I trade evenly here, it's good for me. I see the play. Whoops, I didn't see the play actually. Whew, that was close. I don't like this music right now. The stalemate? What the fuck? Not again! Ah! That happened to me once before as well, actually. I inflicted the stalemate upon myself. That's because I didn't know the stalemate rules so well. It's really funny. Feels like you don't want me to play any more chess. And it feels like if I say that, that's also bad. Okay, time for geography. Worthy successor. Geography games. Ah, that's not what I clicked. Damn it. Go for countries first, I think. I know every country and every capital and almost every flag in the world. It's not easy being a genius. Sometimes you have to give people a baguette or a muffin. That totally worked actually. Alright. And if I get any wrong, it's gonna be like hard to click on, you know? So... But it's been like a year since I did this, so probably... Let's see how many errors I do. If I get 2 errors, I get naked. Doesn't even make any sense. If I get any or nothing wrong, I get naked. But I'm not gonna do that. Oh, it feels like it's been a year. It really does in my memory, you know. This is number 4, right? Oh, these are really hard. Saint Vincent and Grenadines. Oh my god, I remember it was the 4th one. Nice job. Counting from that one. This is the right one, the left one, but there's still number 1, both of them. Czechia, we spell with T and J in Swedish. Mexico. Baguetteland. Also Baguetteland. France is not Baguetteland, that would be racist. Taiwan. Toga. Kahana. Somewhere here. Really? Oh, there it is. Mozambique looks like... where are you? Ah, it looks like that, yeah. What is this shape? Sao Tom und Principe. This sounds like it... Sao Tom. I think it's here. Damn it! Oh my gosh. That was one of the hardest ones. Honduras, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Managua. That's right, I'm fast too. There's nothing anywhere, nothing on my second screen or anything. I have a... This is not the only thing I remember that's crazy actually. Kiribati. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. It's very artistic, isn't it? It's going hovering, it's going, no, it's wrong, you know. Kiribati, it's... It could be this one. Oh my god. Crazy. Macedonian. Is that north one now? No, it's just this one. It's just Macedonian. Swedish. Venezuela. This is Colombia, that's you remember that one. But no down. Oh, it's that one, or that one, or that one. Or that one, or that one. How do you remember that? Serious? This is the craziest thing I ever remembered, I think. Angola, Nambia. I thought there's nothing anywhere. I also remembered everything on this geography page. Every strait, every mountain, every desert. Remember the whole program. See if I still remember it. Thailand, Vietnam. Helsinki, Tirana. It's that one, isn't it? Let me think. Yeah, that's the one. I don't have to think about that one. Georgian. Is that one or that one? Damn it. I'm surprised about that one actually. That's just the map is wrong. Equatorial is in the equator. Other Guinea is. Damn it! That was kind of stupid actually. It's the first stupid thing I've done. Oh, I thought it was Brazil. Cameroon is that one. Oh! was Kenya, Dublin, Tehran. Gabon's in the middle. I was telling myself, Bangladesh. It's that one, isn't it? It's not Azerbaijan. There, damn it, damn it. Oh yeah, oh, there it is. Solomon Islands. Ooh, that was a... Could only be there. This is the only one that it couldn't have been. Could have. Damn it. Guinea-Bissau. That's not the Guinea. There's one over there as well, actually. That was not easy to remember. There is a video about why all the African countries look like that and name similar things, but I didn't look at the video. Oh, Brunei is one of these. Damn it. Brunei. That one? That one? Oh yeah. Oh, here it is. Papua New Papi. Seul. Ich habe jetzt Seoul. Oh, Guyana. French. This is the French Guyana, but it's not seem to be there. It's true. Let me show. And this one is West Sahara. Could show you. Takar, Sudan, South Sudan. St. Kitts, S Beach, St. Kitts and Nevis. It's gotta be that one. Ooh! Morocco Strait, Spain's smallest strait. It's called, damn it. It's called, damn it! That was suddenly finally in my head for some reason. But this watch a video that told us South Sudan has doesn't have much government as a new country. Maybe that sounded wrong. I take that back. I'm sorry. But maybe you want to live there anyway. If that's low government, you know, if it's democratic compared to Sudan. Please allow me to say what I said about South. It's actually completely fine. If you don't think so, you're wrong. Because I was sure it was fine before I said it. Damn it! That's how it... That's not Botswana. Ugh. Jeez. Oman, Yemen. Damn it. Oh, this one, these four. Tajik. Uzbek. Damn it. Turkmenistan. Don't worry, I'm not racist about anyone or anything. wanna go to Fiji, it's over there. It's not that one. Could be that one. Isn't it all down on the Earth? You sure it's not over here? You say it's not on the Earth. Where is it? I'm just gonna click on everything. What? Something to click on. What? Or Burma, Myanmar, Burma? Där ute. Trinidad and Tobago is somewhere furthest down. Haiti, Dominican. The third one. Damn it. The fifth one. Yeah, this I can. Highest household average cost in the world, Singapore. Tajik is the left of Kyrgyz. Okay. Tajik is the left of Kyrgyz. Kosovo. ABJ. Moroni is the capital of that one. You'll see. Paraguay. French, this one. Can I get a shad, giga shad, or a moving streak for shad or shad? How did you know I was from shad? That works. Also hovering over it. Saint capital as well. Tuvalu Funafuti. Oh yeah, I knew that actually. Whatever that means. Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, Djibouti. You remember the shape of Croatia, right? It's easy to remember. Look at that. I was gonna save some time here. Oh yeah, I know some shit about this country actually. I saw a Wikipedia page or something. It's a very special country that's like the paradise of culture. There's not too much. They celebrate not the time of work, but the relief of culture and free time. You know? It's a very special place. You should read the Wikipedia page. You're gonna be like, wow, is this a political paradise? You know, ideally. Panama Canal made sure you don't have to Palau, Magnesia, Marshall, Solomon is not Marshall, Nauru, Samoa, Kiribati, Tuvalu, Vanuatu, Tonga. I think that was really good. It was another program. It showed you the country that you eventually, after you click wrong 3 times, would have been even less. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of these extra things. Maybe I'll do it. It's good for general knowledge. Say autistic person. Because they more specific. Yeah. $197, 200 minus 3 countries and capitals in the world. Afghanistan, Kabul, right? I'll try to remember without looking first. It's good and better for accessing my brain. Peru. It's too slow. Lima. Palikir. Brussels sprouts, very healthy, has it has sulforaphane, so the healthiest compound you can eat, pretty much. Just like broccoli or white broccoli, cauliflower. Well, I say cauliflower, anyway. Kigali. El Salvador, San Salvador, Naypyidaw. I remember that was just like the hardest one. You know that if you don't write Chisinau, Tegucigalpa, Southholm, Bern, Seul, N'Djamena, Danaman, Eswatini, this is Mbabane. Damn, that sounds good to say. Rabatt. Saint Vincent Kingstown, Saint and a King. Santiago. Reykjavik. Nicaragua, Managua. Kiribati, Finland, Fuxi, and Manda letters. Damn it! That wasn't right. Wadugudu. That's how you say that one. Wadugudu. Let me hear Wadugudu. Damn it! I can't spell it though. Okay, I give up. Jamaica, Kingston. Sanna. Mogadishu. Phnom Penh, I think. Port Louis. They sound the same as last three letters. Ashgabat. Ah, that's right, I know those as well. Especially if they... But if you think this is too easy with 4 options, you gotta know every single one to make sure it's not the other ones, you know? So I win still. But I used to know these without looking at options too. Anyway, it's fun. I just put out the Wikipedia page for capitals and countries, and I have an A4. It goes down and to the left and to the right, and I go lightning quick, you know. So. Huh. Bhutan Thimble, Antonio Barbuda, ABJ, St. John's. I think PG has the same amount of letters, Suva, yeah. They don't always include extra stuff like the islands and Micronesia, these games. Ljubljana or Skopje? Maldives, Mali? Sri Jayawaradena Purakotte. Is that one over there? Taipi. Eller is Bambi Sarapega one? Singapore. Porto Novo. Wrong language. Well, it's Porto Novo. I think it's Porto Novo actually. Shit. Kuala Lumpur. Ah. Tuvalu Funafuti. That's a new one actually. Cambia and Banjul. Ascension. Belgrade. Doha. Riyadh. Khartoum. Delhi. There's Ljubljana, right? Ljubljana. I don't really forget that one now. It's too silly. Interesting and silly and strange and following patterns, that all helps. Valletta. Kana Accra, similar letters. Antananarivo. Manila. Guess how many people live in Democratic Republic of Congo? Kosha. Ah, that's Juba. Panama City. Honiara. Libreville. Ulaanbaatar, Jakarta, Yaoundé. Bissau, Bissau. Guinea, Bissau, Bissau. Nassau. Vatican, Vatican City. Vaduz. What did you say? Roma. Pristina. Ottawa. That's good to remember. Zimbabwe, Harare. Port-au-Prince. You don't say it in French, it sounds Port-au-Prince. Quito. Tbilisi. Sofia sounds like we say Vienne in Sweden, it sounds like wine. Spells like wine. Monaco, Monaco. Oh yes, that's very close though. It's like the hardest one. Martin and Nouakchott. I remember like this is the hardest one. Nouakchott. Och så den är Port Vila, Vanuatu Vila. Guyana. Georgetown. That's Bridgetown. Damn, it's 2 G's. That was the first one I didn't have any intuition leading me in. Everything else is like intuition terrain, right? I'm a Lee and TP. And I have Sucre. Togo, Loam, 4 letters. Pretoria, Dodoma, Slovenia, San Marino, Asterbaku. Both are 4 letters if you. Marshall, Majuro, damn it, Monrovia, Guatemala, Guatemala City, Tunisia, Tunis. Romania, Bucharest. There's Praia. Barbados, Bridgetown, Brasilia. Kenya, Nairobi. Venezuela, Caracas. I know Tallinn is Estonia because I live then like across the half sea, right? Östersjön. What's Östersjön in? Baltic Sea? What? What the fuck? Abuja? Without... Shouldn't be racist saying that. That's bad. No. Also, this is yes. Tirana. Linghamway. Syria har varit en pirakotte. There it is. Buffer 3, by the way. så. Lithuania's in a crowd song. Lithuania is like no, Lithuania is a song, it's not the capital. Andorra. What? As I get boring quick, that is that kind of song. Intuition says I'm right. Montevideo. I don't know why I clicked on Reykjavik. I know it's Dublin, obviously. I already clicked on Reykjavik from Iceland. I've read it as the capital. Some Gaborone. Port of Spain. Yep, I know that one. Beirut. Dushanbe, Tajikistan, Dushanbe sounds like they're finishing something. Right? Uzbek, Tashkent. This is a hard one, it sounds like that. It's Dhaka. That's Libra. I thought it was Freetown, right? Yeah, right. Putting 28 fish in the bank collected. But guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry I said ear rape. Libya, Tripoli. Canberra. That's actually. St. George. If it's something about any country in the world, they say, oh, Uncle, this guy, I say, are you from the capital? And I say the capital correctly. It's a conversation starter. Små idea. Jag känner verkligen badminton for some reason. I don't seem to care them. Thank you, Jerry Algers. City. What? Ah! Alright. What? No, where is the other? Kathmandu. Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's like 20 million people, right? Only 3 million? Tonganuka Lofen, Vientiane, Respo. Santo Domingo, Port Moresby, obviously, Copenhagen. They should tell you how you pronounce that when you click on it correctly. Great. Wellington, beef Wellington. So it's I don't feel like the flags. Let's click on this one. Easy to remember. As transition. Iron and nickel. 6,000 degrees, 10,000 F. It's pretty deep. Liquid iron, nickel. Iron, nickel, liquid iron, nickel. Yeah, I'll repeat that so I remember it. Iron, nickel. Ah, it says core. Floating iron, nickel. Mantle is a source of tectonic volcanoes and earthquakes. Transition between multi-magma and solid rock. Oh no! Where's Pluto? First time I personally, you know. Oh, that was kind of. That was kind of. I obviously I know that. I'm gonna click, yeah, I'm gonna click try again. Yeah, actually, Uranus and Neptunus, I learned something here, that Uranus indeed comes still before Neptunus. I should look at, oh, Wikipedia page about those lost planets, maybe, all the planets, why not? Biom? Ska vi kolla på biom? Sorry, it's Swedish. I'm gonna check your biomes. They don't tell you. Oh, that was kind of stupid as well, in a different way. Nice. Montana ecosystem. T types of desert, with stone, without stone. Somehow... It's bold to call something called a desert, polar desert. Who cares about this one? First time I say that. Rivers. Alright, memorization time. Mackenzie, Colorado, which is in Ghostly, Colorado. I know every state as well, because there are other things to learn. And then I was just 13 then. I started learning lots of this shit when I was like 8, 10, by the way, on a geography program. It's fun, so naturally I just sat and learned everything. Mississippi goes through Mississippi. Rio Grande goes through Rio. No, Rio's over here. It's part of Argentina, right? Amazon River. Congo to Congo, Zambezi goes to Zambia. Euphrates and Tigris, start of civilization, Danube, Rhine, Ganges, India, Ganges, India, Ganges, India, Ganges, Yangtze, Mekong is not Yangtze, and Murray, alright. Let's just go one more time, because this is gonna be really good. Mackenzie, Colorado, Mississippi, Rio Grande, Amazon, Niger, Nile, Congo, Zambezi, Rhine, Danube, Volga, Yenisei, Frontes, Rhine, Danube, Tigris, Ganges, Yellow, Yangtze, Montgomery. Oh, that's nice. Length 5 kilometers, 5.5. 1 kilometer, 2.8. Well, in a modern boat you have a ship in Yangtze, alright? 6 kilometers. 1.8. 5.4. Nice. Boring colors on that one. Then it would be Europe. It goes through. Nice. If it's not reaching the limit for how much my memory can remember, I need some time for it to stick into the lower parts of deep parts of my brain, you know, which it does while I'm doing something else. Okay, so let's now do something like, I want to learn more though. Okay, let's do something like, play music and play 2 accounts. Alright. Thank you, YouTube. Have a nice time. Goodbye. You can always come to Twitch or Kick, Rare Switch Killer Rabbit. Glad.